Alrighty, and we are live with another week of Light of Thylea plays Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Welcome back, everyone. Last week we had to jump off somewhat abruptly, and by we, of course, mean me. Little one is doing okay, just so you know. She ended up having a little bit of a respiratory issue, which almost exactly a year ago landed us 3 days in the hospital with pneumonia, and since she has asthma, it's just something that we can't really ignore. Yeah, long story short, I'm just here to say thank you, players, thank you, viewers, for giving us grace on that one. And by us, I mean my entire family. Thank you for that. Aside from that, there's a lot of stuff that we didn't really talk about too much last week either. I mean, we kind of, I'm excited about many things that are happening in D&D in general. As you all know, one D&D is coming. There's a VTT that WotC is working on. I hope it's going to be good. They're using the Unreal Engine, which will be fun. And I think I called it something wrong, and Brian corrected me. That's what I talked about. So there's a lot of cool stuff happening in the D&D sphere. But I think, as excited as I am about a lot of different VTTs and stuff like that, I think what happened here over the last few weeks, when we got to play, is really what peak D&D is about. It doesn't matter how fancy your virtual tabletop is. It doesn't matter, what fancy gadgets you might have. At the end of the day, the magic comes from having awesome players that you get to play with at a table, and I'm lucky enough to say I have that. In any case, I'm excited to just dive right in. We were talking about some bookkeeping and shopping before we started, so that thank you for the patience and jumping online as well. We're now excited to start jumping in. There might be a little bit of that going on, but that is it for me. Do you guys have anything before we dive back in? All right, cool.
I don't think so.
With that, previously on the Light of Thylea, the summit happened. Words were exchanged. Threats against the brides of, a Titan God were made right at the beginning. You just sometimes put your axe right on the table.
As one does.
And with that, you guys, maybe despite that, with that, because of it, you were able to convince Sidon and his 2 children that had attended the summit to try to come to terms. Now, you have no replacement for the Oath of Peace in place, but you have a promise of a new negotiation, a new oath to be sworn, an oath that might include things like free choosing of godly worship. It will also include, as a showing of good faith before the oath is even sworn, the siege and conquering of the city of Arisia, which was famously atheistic upon the world of Thylea, which of course flies in the faces of gods that walk the actual earth, and a thorn in the Lord of Storm's side. Now, you had agreed to consider that, to rally the troops of the Dragonlords, to rally the troops of Historia and Mitros, and lay siege to the city of Arisia, to unseat the queen that sits there, Helen, and hand over the city to the Fae folk and those who worship Sidon. Now, you did say on the table that you would want to attack Lutheria and kill her, and it seemed as if the Titans in attendance to the summit were just not convinced that you could do that. Last session, we were starting to develop, what does that mean to your character? I think many a time in a D&D campaign, those holy shit, did that just happen is not really fleshed out enough. The characters feel like they're just rushing through, and that's when you start getting really detached from the character because there's so much trauma in that character that they never deal with, and the story just must go on, right? Here, we took the breaks a little bit. Again, great sign of great players. And you developed some of the implications, the thoughts that come out of that. You thought about things like the involvement of the fates, and what does it mean that you have 2 characters who derive their power from them? You consider things like Pitor's behavior at the summit, how he flew into a literal rage and flew off. You consider things like, who would take over the reigns, the literal reign of Mitros, were Queen Valis and King Acastus to die. And that led into a whole other conversation with Brissa. apparently now going to be adopted by a Castus's, well, saying so, and asking of her permission, of course, making her the, well, rightful heir to the throne of Mitros. Rhodus,
and cousin of Rhodus, most importantly.
Cousin of Rhodus, very important, cousin of Rhodus. So
we're all
immediately
cousins
they're
now.
going to be, you know, married down the line somewhere in the future. Rhodus and Brissac are going to 100% be married because this is a Greek tragedy, y'all, or a comedy. I don't know. We're still here to find out.
Oh, now we're okay with interfamily marrying. Now it's fine.
It's only weird when your family does it, Estrella.
If you really
It's
want to
only
get Thalia's, you know, cojones in there, you can definitely make that part of the Oath of Peace. If that is what you want, we can see where the story goes, okay? But anyway, we had actually left off after Valis had asked you guys to return to the palace. After you guys had some time frolicking, you ended up spending some time with Rhodus' half-brother at the Siren's Roost, brothel of great repute. And when you got to the palace, we had just revealed that apparently there's another son of Vulcan and Mitros. A god by the name of
It's all
Narcissus.
coming back to me.
There you go. A god by the name of Narcissus, a god of beauty, who apparently had pissed off the rest of the godly family enough to the point that he was effectively disinherited by them. What does that mean? Where will we go from here? That is where we're picking it up back today. Anything that I forgot to mention as I'm switching scenes that you guys would like to add?
It wasn't last episode, but it might come up as more important. Just Rhodus' sword is like, I mean, it has the wish property. It's a pretty significant sort of piece of the puzzle.
I fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, Gaius might still be alive, and I asked Estrella to scry on him. That's the only part I did remember from last week.
Valis' beautiful but sad-looking green eyes scan over all of you, trying to read the reactions of the news that there was indeed another god that they had just never mentioned to you. Was that not important? Were you not important to be informed of such things? How do you characters feel after learning that there indeed is another god?
So I take it you're not like close then, or like is it like a distant brother, right? Like, is he evil, right, or like nice?
Okay, that's a run-on sentence. You never ask questions in this way.
I mean, and Rhodus obviously is also a god, so he has obviously there's more gods.
Well, first of all, you're a demigod. Anyway, Narsus is of equal blood to the rest of us. He grew up with us, and he is... What is the expression that they use? He's full of himself. Rather than the sword, as Peter, or, well, the scales as myself, or the lyre as Kyra, he took to the mirror and enjoyed that very much. So over time, he just became very much interested in himself above all things. And so, when it came time to heal Thylea after the damage that had been done by the First War, well, he was not interested. Vulcan, plus my father, he threw himself into a massive rage, and he wanted to force Narsus to do the right thing, but if you know anything about Narsus, that is practically impossible. If he's not self-motivated to do something, he will just not do it. No, he was too interested in trying to find the perfect wife. So, well, the cities were starving, and people had to deal with massive, well, of course, famines, partially because of the things that we all had all done, but partially also because of, well, what do you do when the person who was tilling the field doesn't return home? What do you do when the person who was tilling the field does come home but is missing 2 limbs that were burnt off by dragonfire? You do. The rest of us, we spent time. You'd be surprised at this. She gives Brissa and Rhodas a little bit of a look. But even Peter did his share. Probably more so than Kyra. You know, there was really a time when he was truly hopeful. He wouldn't have unseated the Mad King in Astoria otherwise. Anyways. Narsus reveled in festivities, flirted with a similar, let's say, worship that Luteria had previously enjoyed, and that, well, Vulcan would have none of it. Peter tried to talk some sense into him, but Narsus never respected Peter for different reasons. Kyra, well, she partied with Narsus on occasion. And me, well, Narsus always hated me for being the one that saw what must be done, and he never wanted to do that. So, he had the celebration. Great tourney of beauty. The irony. Women from all across the land came to Mitros to compete. Their ability, beauty, grace, knowledge, languages, poetry. But on the 6th day of this, Narsus disappeared. He didn't even leave a message. We had to hear from one of his concubines that he had heard that the most beautiful woman to live at that age lived in Arisia. And so he traveled there, and he never returned. He shielded himself from our view. And when we came to Vulcan to ask what should we do, he said he made his choice. We are going to disinherit him now. I'm going to work on the forge. You know, typical Vulcan stuff.
Sound just like him.
Thank you. You tell Kyra, but I'm pretty good at voices too. Now I wonder what happened to him. I mean, I've wondered for a while, but I just figured that he was too busy doing what Peter did, but probably with more protection.
Well, it sounds like we can just hopefully get him out of there, right? And, you know, bring him back with us.
Yeah, I think this will be complicated. Vulcan
We should.
want nothing to do with him, just so you know. He's no longer a son of his. Which is hard.
Do you think he'll leave Arisia willingly?
I don't know. See, this is the thing that doesn't make sense. I've tried to have my spies infiltrate the forces of Arisia, and they've never heard of a god of beauty there. The monastic schools are trained in targeting not just casters, but divine casters in particular, understanding the potency of healing, especially in combat. It is interesting. Everything that they rely on is based on constructed power, something that the Lotus Witch was instrumental in teaching them. Without the Lotus Witch, you have already dealt a significant blow to the Arisian forces. I'm sure that they are already not too keen of the name of Light of Thylea. But now I'm worried. You see, during the Eresian campaigns, Mitros struck back at Eresia many times, but they have formidable defenses, walls that reach 100 feet tall. And the city bent, but it never broke. It has never been able to be defeated. Much like Mitros hasn't, but there is always something more there, and now I'm worried. It's something that I had waited and maybe too long, but until the end of the Oath of Peace to have to figure out. But I'm worried that something happened to my brother when he was there. I don't believe he died. I think we would have all known that, but he just disappeared. I do want you to try to find him during this campaign. I want you to at least find out what happened to him, or what remains of him.
Well, we'll ask around if anyone's seen a god.
That's...
Do you have anything of his?
Oh, it's been 500 years. You know what? I will do some searching. There might be something. I mean, when I say my father flew into a rage, I am not exaggerating. He was mad. So most of the things that Narsus had collected over the years, the room that he had, everything was destroyed, but maybe Kyra still has something. I will speak with her. Anyways.
Can you like conjure a little illusion of what he looks like? Normally, anyway.
Sure. And with that, she kind of opens her hands, and of course, Damon has to ask that question. You.
You can just say
Forgot about that.
TBD.
Thank you.
Yeah. No,
I thought about it.
it shows up as you see a beautiful, I mean, just absolutely chiseled face. You can see each piece of this Henry Cavill-esque face kind of shines through. You can see a strong jawline. You can see beautiful golden curled hair kind of cascading downward. A smile that makes you almost go weak in the knees, Gianni. And as you look upon this face, you can definitely see why Narcissus would have been called God of Beauty.
Something tells me he's probably not walking around looking like that for the last 500 years, or people would have spotted him.
I would... I'm too wise to actually make this, but I would almost bet Mitros that if he was there, he would absolutely look like that, or hotter. That's possible. Because it's him. You don't understand. Unlike Kyra, unlike myself, he would never disguise himself, trying to make himself look like something lesser, like something less attractive. Never.
So, how come your and this is rhetorical, but why couldn't your spies find him then?
I don't
Interesting.
know. That's exactly my concern. If he lived in Aresia, he would absolutely live amongst the people and have them worship him. If anything, Aresia would be known as the most beautiful city or some such. And that is the weird thing to me. Narsos is not the type to simply disappear, to go into a quiet retirement. Absolutely not. If anything, there would probably be a party every day until every Aresian was dumb or drunk or dead or both or all of them. There is something else that I wanted to talk about before you leave here, and this has nothing to do with that. The sword that my father made you, Protus, is the most powerful thing he has ever crafted. It has left him diminished. Kyra gave of herself for it as well. I just wanted you to know that I did not give of it. Not because I don't love you. And I do. Nephew, I truly do. It's just that these coming weeks will be challenging. And I do need to have... I need to have my wits about me for this. If you will take my counsel, however, I would advise you to consider very carefully what you do with this. Divine power, you call yourself a god. You're almost a god. You're powerful, yes. The blood of Peter runs through your veins. You are practically a celestial, but not quite. If and, well, I know you, when you use the sword, it will tax you, it will leave you weakened. Be ready for this, plan for this, all of you. I want you to make sure that if Rotis is to draw upon this divine power, that he channels it with all of you there to guide him, to ensure that he is around friends. If you use this in a dire situation, just be sure that you can go to a place where you can recuperate afterwards. It will leave you weakened, something that Luteria would exploit the second she has a chance. Which is, if... This is not a rhetorical question. Will you have my counsel as how you might want to use the sword?
If you have input, of course we would take it.
As you may have noticed, Sidon and Luteria have no power within Mitros. This was the thing that you all have convinced us gods to do. Give part of our power continuously to protect Mitros from the storm that Sidon had wreaked upon us. The power that you have in the sword is not quite on the same level with these, but I believe that you could enchant the Ultros in a similar way. To try to find a way where perhaps these dreams, nightmares as they are, that have been ailing you, could be forestalled by using the power of the sword. Of course, Vulcan also wanted me to tell you before, it's too late, that you can use the power of the sword to modify the sword. Turn it into something to give it enhanced abilities, to make it more keen against a dragon, perhaps.
A bigger sword.
But he doesn't have the spirit power to wield it.
Man, I'm thinking of Nightmares from Soul Calibur right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
See, I went Bleach immediately.
Oh, also
I just
that.
went Buster Sword. I guess I'm old.
There's a lot of really good swords
Yeah.
in the world.
There may come a time where we do need a piece of your power for the sword.
We're going to kill Lutheria, right? So you could really get 3 kind of enhancements potentially.
Let's talk about that when the time comes. I'm not saying no. Let me consider it.
We will consider your advice as well.
Thank you. And thank you for coming here this day to discuss this. What is your plan then? Where will you sail to next? Light of Thylea.
That's a great question.
Yeah, that's a little bit up in the air still.
Yeah, we have to talk about it. So, do we just wait to go and talk, to Sidon, or do we, kind of go and slay a dragon first, right? My only worry is that we get sidetracked, right, and get stuck in a cave-in, right, and then the week goes by, and then we can't, meet with Sidon, and everything just gets thrown up in the air, and then we miss the meeting. It could be bad.
A week is a short time frame with 6 days round trip.
Yeah. But we don't have to come back, right? We could just, go from the, Hexia's island to Sidon's Tower.
That would still take 3 days.
So
6
we'd
days.
only have a day to like hunt for the dragon in theory, right? So that might be a little tight. I say we do the dragon after the week. So we spend a week here preparing, and then sail to Sidon's Tower.
Is there anything else we could do besides the dragon?
We
What
could
about the
investigate
volcano?
the locations of
Is there another
Narcissus.
Yeah, but, I mean, pretty much everything that we could do would take the same amount of time.
Yeah.
We could spend a day in Arisia. We're going to be sacking the town soon enough.
Isn't it just like quite a ways away? Like, I mean,
It takes 3 days to get anywhere.
Damn it, Brissa! We have a magic
3
boat!
days!
We have a magic boat! It takes 3 days.
Basically, if we want to go anywhere on the boat, we have 1 day where we could do something. And that would be a week.
Well, I could send a message to him.
Two?
Narcissus?
I don't believe we...
You have to
Know
like
where he
know
is?
them.
Before.
Yeah.
I mean, I sent.
No, I'm.
I have done this.
Yes.
I cannot reach him. I don't know if he's done this by design or against his will. I don't know. Or if he's even still here. I doubt that he. If you're proficient in it, you can make me an insight check.
An insight?
Me.
Whoa! Oh wow!
My best friend's-
Okay.
All of you
We're
guys
consistent.
see calculation going on in Valis' face, but there's something weird. You kind of look at her, and it's like there's just a weird moment for a second where you have like a high-pitched ringing noise for a second, and you kind of blink away, and then she kind of goes, anyway, so I just don't... I doubt that he left. He's still on Thylea. He must be. Or... I don't want to think that way, but...
Do you know the identity of the woman he went to see? The supposed most beautiful woman.
That was 500 years ago, unless she's a nymph or something.
No, it was a human woman. In fact, it is the forebearer of Helen, her great-great-grandmother.
That tracks. I don't think that's enough grades for 500
Yeah,
years.
that's
Yes,
probably a couple more
I
grades.
just there is an ellipsis in there.
What's the average lifespan of a Thylea? What would you say?
It depends. If they live a nice, comfortable life, they can live 100 years. Here in Mitros, maybe even longer with magic. Most people, though, probably around 50.
Hmm.
Unless someone has a better idea, I think it makes sense to go to Arisia.
Are we allowed to go to Risha? Like, I mean,
Are we seen as like an enemy? Like, I know you mentioned like the Lotus Switch. I don't know. Like, are they? Sorry, go ahead, Brissa.
I was gonna say we did kill the Lotus Witch.
Yeah, you done fucked up a little bit without
Apparently, they
without
don't know
really
who we are.
thinking about it too much. But yeah, it turns out the Lotus Witch was pretty influential and instrumental in equipping Arisians with the knowledge to build these constructs that you have now seen frequently. And as such, word certainly has made its way back to Arisia that the Lotus Witch is no more. And with that, that Light of Thylea slew the Lotus Witch. Beyond that, you also are heavily associated with Mitros now, which, by association, you're the enemy. There's still a Cold War. It's weird, Arisia and Mitros trade daily, and it's significant, to the point where even when a siege is going on, shipments are allowed to go back and forth because it's just so important for commerce for both cities. But yeah, they're always at war. kind of like the Russian pipeline still going to countries like Germany, despite what's happening in Ukraine.
So I'd say that one is out, definitely. I know there's that the hunt that Vulcan said that we can go on. He wanted that golden fleece or something. We could go there, right? I mean, and then if we don't see it for like that's 24 hours, right? Then we just head back, right? It doesn't sound too dangerous, right? We're just hunting a lion, right? And then if we don't see it, then we just head back.
Well, I think wherever we go, we're gonna head to the tower.
Yeah.
I mean,
afterwards,
because you have about 10 days, so you could make it to one place, and 2 places, 3 places, and then you could probably negotiate at the exact time when you need to be at the Tower of Praxis with the Titans. That's just kind of like the time frame that they've given you guys to try to arrange for things, arrange for the armies to be behind all of this. If you guys want to do adventuring, you guys can do that.
Okay. Wait, 10 days. Yeah, I forget a week. It's 10 days in D&D.
It's
we could
D&D.
go. Sorry. We could go slay the dragon. We got 10 days. We got plenty.
Yeah. That's 4 days of trying to find the dragon.
Do we need to do anything else to get these armies ready ourselves?
We still have 30 days from when we sign the oath to when the invasion will begin. We're giving the people some time to leave, I believe.
Yeah, that's what we were going to arrange at the tower. Yeah.
Yeah. If they're cool with that, it's still up in the air.
I think Sato would be cool with it, right? He wants to win the war, right? If you just try and do a bad war, he wants to win. So I think.
But I do think Acasta said that they were already partially ready because they were getting ready for Sidon to attack Mitros anyways. So they're not all just lounging around at the moment.
Yeah, you guys can certainly assume the forces are mobilized. This was more, and you guys, this is something that you had discussed. What are the implications of Rhodus' agreement with the noble lord in back in Astoria? What are the implications with all of that kind of stuff? So really what you're trying to determine here is how are you going to ensure the support of all of these people, and what kind of, if you guys want to lean into this, if you guys want to, this is going to be one of those moments where as a DM, I want to adjust to what you want to play. If you want to, this is a moment in the campaign where you guys can lean heavily into the intrigue, into the court affairs of what's happening in Astoria and what's happening in Mitros, to really, take the reins to kind of build the legacy that you will ultimately have. The implications from that are going to be multifaceted. Or you can lean more deeply into the adventure side of things. There's a lot of stuff that you guys need to do. Rhodus has a dragon to kill. They brutally murdered his mom. Brissa and Lyra still have
kidnapped.
Jesus Christ.
Kidnapped, asterisk.
It's like 3.
Not after that Freudian slip.
But it's we have Brissa and Lyra who still haven't faced what lies at the bottom of the volcano, right? Those kind of things. There's still
jumping into a volcano sounds like a day trip that we can deal with after the war. It's no big deal.
Well, I'm eager to use my sword.
Yeah, I say we go slay a dragon, right? It's been a while since we've gotten a good workout.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cool with that.
Here's my thought.
Give us your thought.
I can teleport us to Astoria or back here to the academy. If we head out for the dragon right away, have Ophelia just turn around and start heading the ship back here. As soon as we're done with the dragon, I can get us to Astoria. We can make sure that everything's going okay there with the army preparations, that Pethor's not being a big, sorry, I almost said words I shouldn't in front of family.
You can say whatever. I'm not going to be offended.
You're not the one with the big sword. But yeah, just in case he's like putting up a fight and trying to find a way to keep his army out of it. I think probably get back there, and then we can get back here once we've checked in on that and any damage control that's needed, and we should still have plenty of time to get on the ship and get to Praxis, right?
Yeah. That sounds like a good plan to me. I think that's a good idea. Can we like bring the dragon like corpse with us through teleport? Because I think that would be like pretty awesome. Like if like we appear in appear there and like like Rhodus is like, oh, look what I got, Father. That you could do, and boom.
The circle that we'll be arriving at in Astoria is in the temple to the Dragonlords.
Oh.
It's a bad dragon. It's perfectly fine. I'll clear it with them ahead of time.
Oh no.
It's for research purposes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm okay.
I don't think so. I think it's too big, but I can try and figure that out.
Can you like shrink it and then we can bring it with us?
I mean, I can shrink it a little bit, not... I mean, it'd still be way bigger than us.
We could chop it up into little tiny bits, put it into like bags, carry the bags with us, and then boom.
Scylla is just slowly starting to push back with their little dragon oversized paws.
I do like that idea. Here's another issue that brings up though. How long does it take to get from Mitros to Astoria?
Always 3 days.
3 days.
No, you guys can actually make it to Astoria quicker. On horseback, it might take you like a day or so.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Okay.
We'll go on their own little trails.
Because if we're planning on going to kill the dragon and then teleporting back and then going to the tower, I feel like it would be more beneficial to teleport back here because Rhodus is going to need to rest. Because as soon as we leave Mitros, he's going to have to deal with all that sleep fuckery that's going on.
Unless he uses the sword.
So one thing that you could do if you wanted to, you could use the power of the sword immediately on the ship, right?
Man, that seems like so much to give up for that, man.
Now,
I'm not going to tell you what to do with it, but I'm also
suck.
in
No,
the
I
I
was
want
like,
to
oh.
talk above table, like as a DM to the player on this one, right? So if you want to, this is one of the things that you could be using the sword for, right? Using the wish to essentially make the Ultros impervious from the god's fuckery with you guys upon it. Right?
Which would only be even relevant for like, another 45 days or something, right?
Depends on how you word it.
Because Sidon did say that he would, protect you against her stuff.
It really just depends on how quickly we kill Thylea, honestly.
I guess I'll ask the group. How do you all feel about taking Valis's advice?
I'm assuming that we already tried remove curse and greater restoration to fix this. Yeah.
You can always remove a level of exhaustion, but it seems that he just went days without sleeping. There's only so much you can do about it.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll come back, but so it would have to be a daily thing, if that's what we wanted to do.
And also, if I use it now, I will be exhausted. Like she said, we'll have to wait.
Well, it's going to take us 3 days to get there.
Yeah, exactly. So the
Oh, yeah.
the IQ.
You're gonna sleep on the boat,
IT
Rhodus.
professional play would be something like you make the ship impervious, you get upon the ship, you travel for 3 days and recover.
It's
It's
a
like
topic, guy.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do that either. Gotta play DM advocate.
And in order for you to use it again, we have to either kill a god or get them to willingly give us more of their godliness.
You,
Right?
God juice. I think the
Oh,
official
right.
term
You
is
have
God
two
juice.
of them. I'd rather not. Oh, I forgot you had two. I guess if you still have one in the chamber, I would be on board with it. But like I said, I'm not going to tell you how to use your cool new sword. And I would like you to be, fully the demigod that you are when we're fighting things. So
From a logical perspective, it would make sense to do this because she could start screwing with anybody else. So it's not just protecting you, it's protecting all of us for as long as we need it, basically. That being said,
Might
it's your
there be
decision.
might there be a way that we can articulate this spell that would give us some additional lingering benefits beyond a Lutheria specific one?
just like a bubble of
Like a generic level of protection.
I mean, it kind of seems like if we just asked it or wished for a duplicate of the effect that the gods created over Mitros permanently attached to the ship.
It would
We don't know
probably
much-
protect against attacks too, right? I imagine.
We don't know much about the nature of this protection.
That's true. But I know who we can ask.
I can tell you, yes, that the shield that exists protects all of Mitros and those within it against interference by the Titans in particular. That is how we shaped it, crafted it. Of course, if Peter wanted to come in and destroy the city, good.
So it protects against Sidon and Lutheria, but not you guys.
Well, and their children, but yes.
Titans.
Titans, but not gods. Is there like a broad category, an umbrella that all of you fall under that we could make a bubble against?
Divine beings, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, that checks out.
But then it'd be really awkward if Pito ever wanted to come visit
right,
Chris,
right,
And it's
right.
like he tries to land on the ship and just get kicked off, right?
Boing.
It would be hilarious, but at the same time,
Yeah, that's.
Yes,
I'm just
it would
thinking
not be
about if we
hilarious
take
if
the ship
Lotus and I
to.
got kicked off the ship as
What?
well. So we have to be very specific about the wording because
Oh, yeah,
technically Rotes and I are both.
right.
Some of the same blood.
Well, do we?
I was just thinking about if we go to Arisia where there's also a god and he decides like you guys are gonna, blow up Arisia, maybe keeping him from the boat. But that's
so
fair.
we
It
could
would
specifically
probably
include him. Something along the lines of duplicate the effect plus include the same protection against Narcissus.
I mean, Narcissus seems like he's a good guy, right? It seems like maybe he's just kidnapped or just stuck in front of a mirror, right?
I mean, everyone's a good guy until they're not a good guy.
The villain is the hero of their own story, right?
So what does that make you, Five?
Badass.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Nice.
What if we make it a protection from anyone that we do not authorize, right? So basically, we could add or remove people, right? It's and then we could totally invite Pitor one day and have him bounce off, and then you'd be like, "Oh, just kidding, you come on."
That would absolutely end well, I'm sure.
That seems like a bad idea.
What if we just make it like a protection from harm instead of specific people, just a specific thing?
Intent.
That could get really tricky.
Yeah, it could get tricky too.
Are you thinking about murdering all of us, Yanni?
No, I mean, it seems to me that making a broad sweeping statement like that is not likely to work out in our benefit. There's likely to be something we didn't anticipate with that.
Prone to abuse by someone.
By some kind of overgod that
Some
even the
greater
deities
being.
aren't aware
Fair,
of.
that's fair, but I also feel like being too specific about what we want leaves room for error also.
So I was reading about this mathematical concept called a regular expression once, and it's like the more complicated that you make it, the more accurate the output. Right? So I
Right, but
think
if we're
that's-
like, protect us from Sidon and Lutheria and Narcissus, what's to stop the universe from summoning a different Titan to come kill us?
The legal tax code just seems to float. there.
But Valis said that it protects against all the Titans. But
What if there's an evil god?
since, oh my sweet lord.
We can't make the ship like invincible, so we just need to protect Rhodus against Lutheria's machinations, right? Then that's going to protect all of us against her machinations. So I think that's really
Yeah.
the goal. I think we're getting a little bit.
I think the safest, best play is to just duplicate the effect that the gods created here.
I agree with Yanni.
Yeah.
Because we know it won't exclude Ro or
Straya.
Estrella.
Yep.
We know that if any of the gods need to come to us for something, they can. I don't think, no matter how mad Pitor gets at this whole thing, he's gonna come and wail on us. I don't see that happening.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Seems you've convinced us, Valis.
I just wanted to give counsel. This is not to persuade. You are the heroes of your own story, and hopefully will not become the villains of Thylea. With that in mind, I encourage you to make wise decisions, to consider things, and hear the counsel of your fellows, of all of them. And she looks at Estrella, and not talk over them. Make sure that you receive the counsel of all. She's not... Estrella, your passive perception, it's more that she seems to insinuate that you were talked over, rather than, you talked over someone else. Make sure
Immediately
that you
was
feel
like,
each other.
Estrella's gonna fight her.
You can come at me, you will lose. In any case, all of you, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you for your
Does she say that to
wise
Estrella?
counsel.
Or is that just
No, it's
for fun?
David fucking
Okay.
around.
Just making sure.
Do I have to roll initiative right now? God damn it, guys. This
Nope.
is not the fight that I planned for.
Turns out
My
we're gonna
granddaddy's
get one
pretty powerful,
more
though,
wish
and-
charge in Rhodus' sword.
Ooh, she already hates Valis a whole lot.
This is going to become a God of War campaign.
Kill all the guys.
So whose head are we ripping off with our bare hands?
Mhm. All right.
I do have one more question, Valis, that you
I
might
am
have some input on.
Shocked. Good.
See? Told you. Bitch. Bitch.
Did you say
Bitch.
that out loud?
Nope. I said it in actually I said it.
I said it
in,
in all OC.
I said it in her head.
Yeah.
In her head with message.
That's my
Oh, she is such
That's
a
Briss's mom.
melty.
And if we're cousins,
Right?
that means it's my aunt. I don't know how families work. I don't know who's related
Yes.
to who anymore. We have a lot to figure out still.
It's a lot.
Can you just imagine? It was actually really nice to make the family tree for this because it's just fucking circle.
Just a circle. It's just a straight line. Speaking of the fuckery dream stuff that Lutheria does, you wouldn't happen to know if the different divine beings, not necessarily you guys, but also maybe you guys, but like the Titans, do you guys ever sleep ever?
We don't have to, but Peter loves to. Kara does to. I try to sleep as little as possible. There is some stuff that does exhaust us, such as erecting the shield, but this is an ongoing thing, so I don't foresee the exhaustion from that to wear off anytime soon. In any case,
Oh, that's another thing for that wish. We need to make sure we word it so that it doesn't draw the power from the gods like this one is. That
Oh
would be
yeah,
bad.
yeah. That
We could prevent that from happening to us, which means that the wish would fail. So yes, you might want to choose your own language for it.
but also do Titan sleep. Do you know?
Again, they don't have to. I believe Luteria and Sidon would probably choose to. Maybe. But their children are probably more prone to it. Estrella, you have to sleep as a demigod titan. But you are also not excluded by the shield that they have.
Thank you for pointing that out,
Of
Valus.
course, I wouldn't want to miss the opportunity.
Right. Well, we should probably get going.
Sure. You have a wonderful day. And the next time you try to whisper in Lyra's mind, just know that us gods can perceive many things.
We should probably go shopping and buy stuff that we need.
Probably should. That would be a good idea.
Man, it's way too salty in here for just the sea air. Whew.
And with that, Valus walks out. Yanni, have you been to the temple yet to transcribe the thing?
Well, no, but it says you get 2 circles when you
Yeah, we'll
pick
just
a spell,
we'll just say
and
that-
I asked you what I got, and that's what you said.
yeah. Do you want to go by it just so that you essentially get it? I know what you get as a meta thing. I'm just saying, like, would you want to roleplay that or not?
I mean, my assumption was that it was just something I was able to go to the academy and just be like, hey, can I copy down the teleport circle here, and do you have any more that might be useful? And they're like, oh yeah, here's the one for Astoria's temple.
Alright.
Kind of what I was thinking.
So where do you guys head next?
Strayer needs diamonds, right?
Yeah, we gotta go buy stuff.
Alrighty. As you guys head out of the palatial grounds once more, you are greeted. You see, there are some new Dragonlords who are to be being trained. They're currently speaking with the Centurions. And as they all turn towards you, all looking directly at Brissa. Do a salute and immediately fall to a knee as you walk by.
Ooh, look at you.
Well, that's weird.
Percival to try and salute back, I guess, and then keep on walking.
Swifty. No. But as you are walking off the grounds and past the gates, you do see a flutter of a familiar cloak starting to make its way towards you. Gold and red, the motifs of dragons upon his shoulders, the familiar pointy ears of an elf you haven't seen in a long time.
Is that Aesop?
Hello. Hi. How is everyone? Hello. I'm
Hi.
so glad that I was able to. And you can tell that despite his very immaculate appearance, he's always made great efforts to look pristine. The last you had seen him, he had been traveling back to Astoria and the like, but, it seems like he has returned. And he kind of jogs over towards the front. I was trying to find you. I'm glad when I heard the Centurion say that you had returned here. How did the summit go? Listen, I know technically people are not supposed to know about this yet. Just I'm too excited. What have you been able to find out? Do they have weaknesses? Can they be exploited?
Not
Why
exactly.
don't you take this one?
Maybe Brissa should.
I would say we were successful.
Okay. Well, you have done amazing feats. What I'm going to do is just trust that you have done the right thing and will continue to do so. You have proven yourself to be the future of Thylea in so many different ways. Brissa, I hear congratulations, Anora. You're an official Dragonlord of Mitros now. That is fantastic.
Oh, thank you, yes.
I think my husband would have been proud of someone like you.
I hope to bring pride to the order. Yeah, I think that would be very good.
Oh, speaking of, and he kind of reaches around and kind of pulls forward this little satchel, opens it up, and in beautiful rough-hewn cloth, he pulls out the horn of Balmitria.
We're gonna go on a trip.
And your favorite horny ship. Now, as he hands it forward towards y'all, I have thought long and hard about this. This is Thylea's history, and I don't want it to be lost. But you are Thylea, not history, but present. You are shaping it. You are determining what that will mean. I think you should have this. It has powerful properties. It still seems to have the spirit of Balmitria contained within, and I simply cannot think of a single person who would be better equipped to have this, to ensure its continued safe, well, maybe not that, but proper use. I caught you all at the wrong time, it seems.
We're just going shopping, actually, if you want to come with us.
I would love that. There's something else that I wanted to speak about, if you don't mind. But we can do that. We can walk and talk. Absolutely, of course. And he just kind of like hooks in his arm through yours, Lyra, as you guys are starting to walk down. So, tell me everything. I've heard accounts from a weird bard who has overblown many details, it appears, but I wanted to hear it from your... what would you say has been the greatest accomplishment of the Light of Thylea so far?
Getting the gods and the titans to sit down around a table and talk sensibly.
That is pretty magnificent. That is not inconsequential. That is true. That is something.
I think battle-wise, like we killed the Lotus Witch. That was pretty epic. That's
exaggerated. Did you actually manage to defeat her?
Yep.
Yeah, straight up.
It was a cakewalk too. We would have wiped the floor with her.
That is surprising. She's been challenged many times in the past, and no challenges ever lived to tell the tale. Good for you.
Gaius as well. Well, that one we are less proud of.
Yeah.
I, for one, welcome his death. The Odd of Sidon was what killed my husband. So,
he was giving a bad name to dragon riders.
That is true. That, without a doubt. Here. We shall have a drink today. As you guys make your way back to the Ahora, start shopping around for things. Let's go through it really quick. What are you guys trying to buy, and what kind of coin do you guys have?
Party gold wise, we have 2,500.
Alrighty. And what are you guys trying to get?
I deleted that 41 platinum from my sheet, so Marissa, that's yours. For
So
5
that's
diamonds or whatever.
the
410.
one,
410.
yeah, the one 300 gold diamond if we can get it, and 100 gold worth of like diamond dust, right? That's what. I need a 500 gold object of the outer planes, which hopefully Agalia even knows what those are, let alone has something like that.
Roll me a D100 on that one.
Oh no. Oh no.
Alright. We'll say that as far as... It is a unique object, right? It's kind of like trying to go out and it's like, hey, can I have a piece of Saturn? Like, technically there might be a chance that someone on Earth has a piece of Saturn. Maybe like something was traced back and the composition seems right. I don't know. Maybe there's something that broke off of one of the moons or something like that. It's more likely that you can get something from the moon, maybe a moon rock or something like that. But again, that stuff is probably not very frequently around. I don't want to be the DM who shuts down things because it's like, hey, you have a cool new spell, I want you to be able to use that. It's just that this day, as you end up searching and asking things around, there's just no luck. This time they don't have any of that. What Agalia would be able to tell you is that, oh yes, we do have certain items from time to time that come through, but they're just very popular. Well, I shouldn't say popular, they don't stay very long. I'm sorry.
Well, if you get another one, I can give you half now if you hold it for me.
I will
And
hold
then
it for
I'll-
free. You do not
Oh.
have to spend your coin on me. You have spent so much coin already. It's the least I could do for you.
That also works.
Okay. Of course. Anything I can do to help. I will ask some of the collectors around the markets, and maybe some of them know someone who might have something. I'll put my ear to the ground, as they say.
Sounds good. I think we're planning on being back at some point in the next few days.
Hopefully.
I don't know. I don't know.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be able to do it as quickly, but I promise you, by the end of the month, I'm sure I can try to find a lead.
Cool.
She just smiles big with her beak at you. Can't exactly smile with a beak.
I mean, we could always ask Pascal. You know, like, I mean, he seems like he travels a lot and, you know, gets into more shadier places.
Oh, that's true. He is literally from not this plane, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about him. He gave us stuff, and I was like, well, he's never coming back. But that's true. We could talk to him. But still keep your eye out if you find anything. Agalia.
I will.
Estrella, what else did you need?
I need incense and holy water. I have 2 blocks of incense and 5 sticks of incense. It doesn't have I don't know how much that's worth, so.
What is the spell that you're using that for?
For like a bunch of spells. I need incense for and holy water for a bunch of spells.
How much? What is the cost associated with those? I'm guessing, like, for example, someone familiar.
There is no cost listed on the next to.
Then you can assume if there's no cost associated with it at all, except for things that, like, holy water does have a cost associated with that intrinsically. For the ones that have incense, give me an example of one spell. The highest level spell, we'll just use that as an example.
Was Dawn one of the ones that needed incense?
That needs a pendant.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's weird because holy water is actually like a listed item.
Yeah.
That's why it has a cost, even though it's not on there. But things like
I don't
incense, unless it.
Yeah.
I can't find any right now.
If you want to buy some extra, we can definitely do that. There's some stuff that, like, I think incense is used for summon familiar, for example. You don't
Yeah,
have to
find
have incense.
familiar.
But that's the only one that I can think of the top of my head with incense cost associated with a cost that you have to actually have because it consumes it in the spell casting. That said, though, I mean, if you want to just get, let's say, because you have, how much did you say you have? Or you have 10 left over from Yanni, so you can have at least 10 GP's worth of incense. How about that? So you can mark
Okay.
that on your sheet that you have 10 GP worth of incense.
Which I think is how much find familiar is.
Yeah, precisely.
The stuff that Agalia has readily available, is it the same stuff that was here last time we were here?
Yeah.
Okay. I know it was only like 2 or 3 days ago or whatever, but I don't know how often shops restock.
She has
Oh,
not
yeah.
had the time to restock yet, no.
There is still that cool staff.
Oh, yeah. Hold up. Let me see if I can get us something really quick.
It was like a bonus initiative staff thing. I don't remember everything it did.
There's the quarterstaff of warning.
Yeah, that guy.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
All right,
Man,
is
the
there something in
shop is
particular
so
that you guys
cool.
would want to have?
I mean, that Wanda Web would be awesome, but that's
So much. Yeah.
As some of you guys are looking through that. Brissa, Agelia kind of pulls you to the side, and she goes, sorry, not Agelia, Aesop. Too many people to keep track of. And Aesop kind of pulls you to the side and says, actually, he pulls you and Rhodas to the side. I hate to bring this up. It's not bad. It's just maybe uncomfortable. We'll find out. So I have been doing research because, well, you have changed so much, and it just made me reevaluate the future. And as a historian, I became incredibly interested in the past. And I realized in the chaos after, the gods arrived and the Titans slew most of the dragons, and apparently, well, we thought that all the dragons had died. And we had got to the point where we thought that, well, the days of the Dragonlords were over. But that is obviously wrong. So I started looking in, have there been other sightings of dragons? And that is when it occurred to me that the 5 mightiest dragons belonged to some of the most famous members of the Dragonlord. Xander, of course, and Estor, etc. While Mitria lies interred at the necropolis. But where are the others? I think there's a chance that some of these ancient dragons exist to this day. I believe that maybe they saw the deaths of all the other dragons, or maybe they felt bad about what happened to the murderous Gaigans, and so they chose exile for themselves. I believe there are 2 dragons that I've been able to hunt down now, and, well, neither of them match the description of the original bronze and brass dragons that were ridden by the Dragonlord. But one of them is the dragon that you seek to kill, Exia.
Rhodas raises an eyebrow.
I'm not saying that she is one of the original dragons of the Dragonlord. Mind you, I am... excuse about my cold, it's rather gross. I do believe that even if she is not a dragon in disguise from back in the day, she would know what happened to the others. So, if you can stay your sword, maybe you could negotiate something with her wherein she would tell you where the other dragons are. And Rotis, you are magnificent. Brissa, you would probably understand this better from a militaristic and, well, power play perspective. If we could bring back the ancient dragons of yore, the ones that were ridden by the most powerful Dragonlords, we would be able to solidify the stance of the Dragonlords and thereby have enough power to hopefully enforce the peace after the Titans are slain.
I understand that, right? But it is Hexia that we are talking about, and so I will follow Rhodas' lead in this matter, as it is his personal quest, I guess, so to speak. Right? It's
I understand. I wanted to bring this up. There is another option that I've heard of. It appears that in the Southern Isles, there is a god, as he fancies himself, by the name of Helios, the sun god he calls himself. Though, by all accounts, this god needs large quantities of gold, which the people of the island that he rules over give as sacrifice to him. Gems, gold, they disappear. And as someone who has raised and trained dragons before, I can tell you this is clearly a gold dragon, having convinced many a people that he is a god. So, this Helios would be another target for you to investigate.
Yeah, see that. I think that's good. We still kill Hexia, right? And then we go talk to Helios, right? And then, yeah, I mean, maybe he's related to Xyla, right? I mean, so maybe he's like
interesting, certainly. In any case, I think this is something that you could. Estrella, would you mind coming? Oh no, you're looking still at things. Don't worry about. I can see you writing things. Never mind. When she has the time, just this is the location where I believe you will find this island. And he points out that the Chariot has a place called the Garden of Helios, where, of course, this dragon god supposedly exists.
The Chariot.
Cool.
Sick.
Yeah, no, that's definitely somewhere we'll move
so much to do, and I really don't want to add more complication to day, but weeks of life. But as a historian of the Dragonlords, if there's a chance that Mitria's companions still exist to this day, we must take it. Versa, you already are raising your own dragon, but imagine if the other four had their own dragons to ride. Certainly older, more powerful, more magnificent than Xyla for the time being. But it would be great if they had mounts as well.
So just walks away.
I've ridden a dragon. Didn't fancy it.
Oh, well, maybe.
Maybe that's because Brizzer was driving.
Oh, tea. Spill it already. Anyways, jokes aside, even if the dragons are done with the life of being mounts, maybe that's part of the reason why they disappeared. They just didn't want to deal with all of this anymore. Figure it out. I believe some of them might still exist. If we have the power of the original dragons behind us, this could mean lasting peace. A true new dynasty in Thylea.
We will do our best to get whatever information we can from Hexia.
Of course. Squeeze it out of her if you must. That was a joke. Alright,
No joke.
you have the horn. I said my piece. They're still shopping aggressively. My god, they're really going to the bottom of that bin, aren't they? I will excuse myself. I have permanently relocated to Mitros. I will take the office of the High Priest of the Dragon Temple here from here on out. So if you need anything else, and services, please let me know. It is good to be back.
Thank you for your counsel, Aesop.
Of course. Knight of Thylea. Have a wonderful day. Ding 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 ding. As he walks out the building. And he did say goodbye to Yanni and Estrella and Lyra, but you guys are just like, huh? Yeah, whatever. This is BOGO! BOGO! No, anyway. There's no bogos. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, as you guys are before my words are being used against me. Anything else that you guys wanted to get?
Are we cool with if I buy this?
Steph,
Yeah.
I'm good with it. It helps your initiative and protects most of us from surprise.
Okay, I'm doing it.
Alrighty.
Moving money.
And let me know if it doesn't work. Then I'll just manually move it to make it work for you.
Okay. I had to do math for a second. It was too much for me. Okay. Got it.
That's funny.
If I recall, the horn required attunement too, right? So who has a free attunement slot for the horn?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. I know it lets you take crazy food trips, but it like actually does stuff too, and I don't remember what it does.
That was like poison or something. I don't know.
I believe it like creates
Hey,
a meal
it
for
works.
us, right?
It
Yeah, I
worked?
think you can't do that.
Yeah, it did.
Awesome.
A trippy meal,
Alright.
where we trip out at the end.
But like, doesn't it?
The Horn of Philometria is a rare item that does require attunement, and it is fashioned from one of the Horns of Philometria, blah, blah, blah. It has 2 command words. One produces delicious food, along with water and wine in a sufficient quantity to keep 6 medium-sized creatures well fed for a day. If wine is drunk from the horn, it can sometimes, at the DM's discretion, induce a deep sleep with dreams that will reveal possible futures. The second command word produces a paralyzing mercurial vapor. Once per day, you may use an action to create a cloud within 60 feet of you. The cloud starts with a 5-foot radius, and then increases by 5 feet each round to a maximum of 30. Any creature that starts to turn in the mist must make a DC 14 con save to throw or be paralyzed until the start of its next turn. It's essentially paralysis on a stick, like an AoE. However, it affects each creature in that cloud.
Right. Well, I'm only attuned to 2 things, but if someone else wants it, they can have it.
I'm full.
Yeah, I'm good.
All you, Lyra.
Cool. That's just what I needed, is a paralyzing smoke bomb.
Just don't use it on us. Right? That's
What? You're telling me not to just run into a room and set it off?
I think you could use it at range, right? It says like within 60 feet of you. So
Oh,
You
so I don't even have to run into the room.
Yeah,
I can
yeah.
just...
yeah, you could just like look into a room and be like, it starts there, and then boom, and then it starts. I don't know exactly how it works, right? I don't know. You have to like take a swig and like spit 60 feet. Like, I mean, who knows?
be pretty impressive.
It's a magical spit.
But Tilly!
I cast Magical Loogie.
Sounds like Jarlaxle's wand that, like, throws out the big blobs of goo that freeze people in place.
Aesop shared with us some information about a gold dragon who fancies himself to be a god,
Eh?
Yes.
living on an island.
Man, how do we get an island? Everybody else has an island.
We
Yeah.
are going to take over Hexia's island.
Oh,
as
okay.
ours.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I mean, if it's a nice island, why not? I mean, I'm fine with that, right? I guess how close is this island, right? Is it like? It also depends if it's scenic, right? If it's like a barren wasteland, we probably don't want it.
Indeed.
You know, now that I think about it, there's probably a couple islands that are available now that we've killed the things that previously owned the islands. There's the Lotus Witch's Island. We could take that. It had those cool flowers.
But it also did have like giant scorpions and a centaur problem, right? So that seems
Right.
there's that whole other curse.
Not to
step.
mention, the Arisians might come hunting for us.
It's true. But might be a good like launching ground like against the Razor, right? Since it is close.
Maybe.
What other islands? There's the island that Gaius was on, which is probably still got people because he's
Lots of people.
probably not dead. But once we do actually kill him, we could have that island.
But if we like he is resurrected, right? We probably can't kill him anymore because we're gonna make a deal with Sidon, right? So
Right.
I imagine,
But if we do get that island, Yanni can have it because that library is there.
that would
So
be
that's
dope.
Yanni's island.
Wait. I don't know if I want my own island all to myself. I mean, I get lonely sometimes.
We'll put teleportation circles on each of our islands so you can just come visit us.
Do you know how long that takes?
We'll have plenty of time once we stop, all of this chaos.
But it's a year of casting the spell every day, and it gets expensive.
All right, so we'll start with Brissa's island, and then we'll do Rhodus's island.
I don't need an island. I have Mitros now. I'm good. I'm gonna stay here.
Oh, you already got a circle on Brissa's island. There you go.
That's true. It's true. All right. Do we need anything else? Are we heading out? Should we go tell Thylea to get the ship up and running?
Yeah, I think so.
Do I put things in my inventory myself? How are we doing that?
With the spells, because Foundry has a thing now where it can actually track it as part of the spell in your spell book. The two spells that you were talking about are Revivify and what's the other one?
Greater Restoration.
So I'll mark
Right.
it underneath there, right? Is that the ones?
For the diamonds?
Yeah.
So I'll send you a screenshot of what that looks like. So
Did you want to get that one for Raise Dead? If it's available, we have the money for it.
You guys, it's 500 gold. We don't. I mean, I've got 10 days to cast it on someone, so.
I'll
Yeah.
buy a couple more of the
Smaller ones.
the other smaller ones for more shits, especially the dust.
yeah, do you
Yeah,
guys have multiple Greater Restos or?
I said buy like 2 more of the 300 ones, right? And then maybe like another like 2 or 3 castings of Greater Resto.
Do we still have that much?
Yeah, we
do.
got 1,600.
So it put us down to 800 if we did 2 castings of Greater Resto and 2 more diamonds.
What that?
Because then we can still pay the crew.
Oh,
If
we
if
still
we-
have to do that?
Yeah.
We're so cool now, though. We're literally saving the continent. They should just row our ship for us.
They have families to feed though, Lyra. So they can't. We have to.
Yeah,
Think
well,
about-
we're keeping their families alive to be fed, so.
All right. So how much are you guys dying? Of what?
So altogether 3 Greater Restoration diamonds. So 300 gold diamonds and 300 worth of diamond dust, right? But 400 of that Yanni gave to Estrella, so only 800 of it is coming from the party gold.
Yeah, but total you guys have 3. So you have enough supplies for 3 Greater Restorations and 3 Revivifies. Right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool beans.
We're making sure we don't die. If Estrella dies, though, we're boned. But if everyone else dies, it's fine.
I don't understand. So it's not going to show up in my inventory, but it is going to. What now?
Yeah, so
Sorry.
if you go to your spell book under your Foundry character,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah.
when you. So what you can do in the top there, do you see that search bar? Next to the filter symbol there?
Mm-hmm.
Into Discord as well. So if you type in, let's say, for example, Revivify to just make it easier so you don't have to look at all the spells.
Mhm.
And then on the far right side of the screen, next to the trash symbol, You see a little red trash symbol? Don't hit that. Don't press that. But do you see it? There should be 4 symbols. One looks like a little book. One looks like a bookmark.
I
One
don't
looks
know
like a
what
pen.
you mean. Where is it? In the spell?
Not in the spell. Or alternatively, hold up 1 second. Is that little lock symbol to the right of downtime underneath your charisma score, is that green or is that red?
Red.
Okay, good. Now, do you see those 4 symbols that I put into the Discord? It should look like a little icon of a book, a little icon of a bookmark, and an icon of a little pencil, and an icon of a trash can.
I don't see him
I
either.
don't have those.
No.
It might be just you, David.
Oh, maybe it's just me. In any case, it is underneath that. So that's how. Go ahead and just cast Revivify without casting or using the spell slot. That'll be the easiest way to do it, I think. And then I'll see it tick down. So that's for you, yeah. All right. Did it give you a thing to consume?
Perfect. I don't even know what that means.
Sounds
I don't know. It just said.
I will do all the tracking for you. It is good that we keep it there to make things simple. How about that? So I know as the DM, hey, when you cast that, I will count that down. But other than that, yeah, I'll put it in parentheses behind you to see how many you have left.
Okay.
I already took off the party gold, by the way, so
Appreciate
you
you.
don't have to do it again.
Alright. Well, I guess we're going to the dragon, right? Island of the Dragon?
It's time.
Seems like
I guess so.
Alrighty.
Don't be so excited, Lyra.
No, honestly, I am pretty excited. It's been a while since we fought something.
Been a while. Alrighty.
As if you're not what's going to kill him.
You guys pack yourselves back upon the Ultros. The sailors certainly are starting to get excited about the latest adventure that you guys are going to take them on. And as you do, there's some of them that are a little bit worried, a little bit, thinking like, oh, am I going to come back alive? This is the light of Thylea. They have been fighting people that are just way above, a mere mortal's punching class. But, you have the others assure them. Most of all, of course, Bullbug, who's just like, this is light of Thylea. They can slay literal gods. We're fine. And as you guys load on, immediately that evening, right?
Yeah.
I know as players you guys are trying to maximize the thing, but are you guys like loading up that evening, like letting Ophelia know to just get the sailors ready and that kind of stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's where we're going to take a quick break, and we'll pick it back up as you guys are sailing towards the island of the dragon. I'm excited.
But Rodus can do his wish thing before we set sail.
Oh,
Sure thing.
right. Yeah.
Let's talk about it on the break.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you guys kind of start, grammatically trying to craft this thing, draft it up, and then we'll pick it up as you guys are using the swords to make sure that nothing bad can happen to you all anymore. See you guys soon. And we are back. We are following the heroes as you guys are walking down the streets. You had spoken with Vala, spoken with Aesop, spoken with Ophelia to get her to drum up the sailors. The sailors are, you know, simultaneously there's a good chunk. They're the sailors of the island of the Lotus Witch that are actually pretty keen on following you now. They're excited and they want to make this better world happen with you. You know, they're certainly not going to take a cut of the payments, but you know, Ophelia's handling all of that stuff. But as you guys, you know, give that little bit of share to the other sailors that are going to come with you there, you come upon the ship and you can see the eyes of the sailors kind of look at you wide-eyed, and they're keen and excited to hear from you. As Ophelia kind of goes, well, where to this time, captains?
The Island of the Dragon.
Yeah.
So we're going dragon hunting. I'm excited. This will be good. She kind of leans a little bit closer towards the rest of you so that the rest of the crew doesn't really hear, and says, is there anything that you want to say to assuage their fears of facing a dragon? I mean, all of them have seen them now. You are a Dragonlord, Brissa, but this is still a terrifying thing, especially for the, well, Fey sailors. The stories of dragons are usually terrors of the night. She kind of looks towards you, Brissa, to maybe say something inspiring.
Me and Rodus will do it together, right? You know, like maybe a little show, right? Rodus, you're going to do you know, blessing. Yeah, Brissa will like walk up to like the ship, like mast, I guess, deck area, and then just like look out over the sailors and be like, I know that you are all super scared about the dragons that we are going to come against here soon. But let me assuage your fears that there will be only one death on this journey that we're going to take, and it is going to be the death of Hexia at the hands of Rotus and his new sword.
Yes!
And then, like, make the way for Rotus and to show off his sword and do his portion.
All right, Rotus will assume the same position Brissa was in, and will unsheath his new blade, and he will hold it aloft.
And as you do, you can see, I mean, the metal is perfect. You can almost see like these little waves that have been built into it. It's very reminiscent of another show that is copyrighted. We will not say blank steel on this show, of course not. But as you kind of hold it aloft, it seems to be almost like this innate golden glow about it. And many of the sailors are just kind of dropping onto their knee. Others are just like looking at it in awe.
Wow, what a cool sword. Oh my god.
It looks like
They're so cool.
It's amazing.
Wow. Surely they'll kill the dragons. We're all gonna be fine.
Feeling empowered, Rotus will begin to say his wish.
And as you tap into the contained power of divinity in the sword itself, this divine spark starts to flow into you, and you feel immediately the radiance of your veins explode. His eyes suddenly go wide as it's just pure pools of golden light shining out. Rotus, you feel yourself actually lift off the ground, hovering there a little bit in a pose as the sword is still held aloft. What do you say?
I say, I, Rotus, wish that the effect...
Silent, not now!
The effect the gods created over Mitros to protect against the Titans to be duplicated on the Ultras. To protect all those aboard in the same way without drawing any additional power from the gods.
And you say these words, and you all realize, for those of you that speak Celestial, you realize that Rotus's words are in Celestial as he speaks them forth.
I do.
Of course it's Latin. It's fucking Latin. As it kind of starts to, these waves are shooting through. You know, the other people are kind of like dropping to their knees, trying to cover from the power of the words as they just wash as visible, tangible, thunderous energy through all of you. Radiance is shining off of Rhodas as you cast your first wish spell off of your Blade of Rhodas. Now, there are a couple things here associated with the casting of a wish spell. I'm going to do one thing about it that is a little bit different. And yes, I have double-checked and triple-checked and quadruple-checked this for the rules lawyers amongst us and the chat. When you cast the wish spell from the blade, you cast it as if you cast the spell. Normally, that includes a roll of a 1d3 with a chance of forever losing your ability to cast wish again. Now, that would be not entirely fun. So I think what would be more appropriate and more within the wheelhouse of a demigod barbarian, such as Rhodas. A Herculean effort. Rhodas, as part of you casting this wish spell, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw, as you feel the power of the multiverse within you. You are a demigod, you have the blood of a god, but you're not a god. Maybe yet.
Oh shit.
Wait, but we have the unfailing inspiration thing, right? So he can use his.
It's
Wait.
not
I do have
unfailing
inspiration,
It's
but I can choose to use it after the fact.
Yeah, after the fact.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will consume that and re-roll my save for a 25.
Yeah.
Good re-roll.
Nice.
For a second there, you get a vision. Oh, this is actually perfect. This is amazing. Okay. As the power of the multiverse is contained within you, you feel like a burning sun. You can see people kind of, covering their eyes. The rest of you have to kind of shy away too. Estrella, you might be the only one who can stand there, basking in this divine glow without having to avert your eyes. Your pools of just pure white are looking upon it, and you can feel this power radiating off of Rhodas. And it feels right. From your vision, Rhodas, you're like a god of pure sunlight looking upon the others. And for a second, you feel the energy burn from within. And there's a moment as suddenly fate strings seem to kind of appear all around you and split reality in two. On one path, you suddenly see yourself get almost consumed from the inside, burned on the outside, even having crackled, burned skin, charcoal rivulets upon your skin, and drop, expended down. Your demi-divine status burned out of you, a mere shell of what you were before. And there stands a familiar hag at the precipice of these two split opportunities of fortune, of fate itself. She looks at you. She looks at this potential path that you could have taken. And she says, I will never forget what you did for me, for us, for the fates of Thylea. And so we help you this day, ensure that you walk the path that you are destined to go. Rhodas, bearer of the sword. And with that, she seems to almost kind of grasp you at your chest. And you can see a string suddenly having attached itself there as she pulls you gently towards the other fate. And suddenly, you guys can see Rhodas flicker for a second. Lyra, Yanni, Brissa, you guys are all kind of averting your eyes, but Estrella, with your enhanced vision, with your worship the fates yourself, with the power that they have granted you as well, you can see that moment. You can see the split opportunities. You can see that in one version of the multiverse, Rhodas would have been expended to a point where he could never use divine power again. She guides him, chooses a fate. And with that, Rhodas, you feel yourself yanked over. And suddenly, a golden bubble seems to extend outward from him, surrounding the Ultras, almost like an oblong egg. You see hexagonal shapes shining all throughout it. And suddenly you realize that the shift had been lifted up out of the water. And all of you guys go, whoa, shift! As the Ultras once again sits down, splashing the 100 or so onlookers that had come to see the Ultras take off, as they're all completely soaked in the seawater. There's just a moment of complete silence, and everybody's just like, Rotus! And the entire harbor just breaks out in cheers as Rotus, from their view, from their limited understanding of what the context was, just performed a miracle upon the ship. Rotus, you suffer the other consequences of the wish spell, which of course include your strength immediately dropping to 3. As the sword, and you kind of drop down after this ship had fallen down, you suddenly, oh shit, just collapse down. You guys watch as Rotus just collapses into a heap of muscle, completely bereft of any true strength. The sword come clattering to his side. At the base of it now, you see that where it was, I mean, it certainly had some beauty to it. The golds that had been engraved into it seems to suddenly extend outward, and a motif comes into view. Waves of water stylistically, kind of in that simplistic Greek mythos style. And a ship with 2 masts. Of course, the Ultras. With the 5 figures of you upon it. And a golden shield in that simplistic 2-dimensional space. It is almost as if this blade now tells the stories of the divine acts that Rhodes chooses to use upon it. As you saw that happening, and the vision of the Fates disappears completely. In fact, as you look around Estrella, you're pretty sure that you're the only one who noticed this. What is going through your head?
I think she just looks at Rhodas and is sort of just watching him, and like after it kind of all fades away, watching how he reacts.
Rhodas is spent. I like the idea of him remaining sort of maybe permanently damaged by casting the spell. So maybe like his arm is still charred and black from when he is casting the spell before the Fates pulled him through.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll me a 2d4, please.
Oh, okay.
Alright.
Mac average.
You would be normally looking at 5 days of a strength of 3, mechanically speaking, so above table talk there for a second. Of course, it partially says for each of the days that you spend resting and doing nothing more than light activity, your remaining recovery time decreases by 2 days. So the wonderful part of this is you spend your 3 days completely doing nothing but light activity. Doesn't matter, well, for the most part, unless you roll above a 6, so 7 or 8 days, you will be completely recovered by the time you arrive.
Perfect.
Yeah. Everything's fine.
As that happens, there's something that seems to lift off of you. Maybe it was a feeling that you hadn't noticed, or maybe it was a feeling that had become so normalized for you, so common, so daily, that you had not noticed it anymore. But suddenly there seems to be as if a glare had been removed from your eyes. You seem to be able to open your eyes wider. But it's not that, it's more that there's an eye that has now been turned away. An eye that had been upon you this entire time. And for those of you that have divination capabilities, you're pretty certain that certain satanic eyes that were watching you now are not able to do so anymore. Not to the same extent. Bulbug comes up and says, Rotus, that was amazing! He kind of picks you up and you're like, Rotus?
Oh God! Don't shake him.
What's wrong?
Don't shake the baby. The magic took a little bit out of him. He's gonna be fine. He just needs a little rest.
I didn't know you were a wizard too.
Take me to a room.
Oh, slings you over his shoulder and starts descending down the stairs.
Remember when Rhoda said he hated magic?
You know what?
But-
I think I could beat him arm wrestling right now.
Oh, you should totally ask him for an arm wrestling match, Johnny. That would be hilarious.
No, I don't want to make him feel bad. I don't want to
Okay.
make him feel bad.
I'll do it tomorrow when he wakes up.
Alrighty. Anything else that you guys want to accomplish during your voyage to the islands of the dragon?
Yes.
All right, Lyra, hit us.
Oh God. What do I want to do first? I'm gonna, after everyone has gone to sleep, I am going to cast my new spell. Dream.
Alrighty, tell us about how.
Oh,
you
well,
cast
ignore that because I'm not doing a bad thing. I'm not doing a bad dream. It's going to be a good dream. So ignore the damage,
it. Are you sure?
even though that's a pretty good roll. But that's actually a really good roll. Oh my god, it's only 3d6. Anyways, I want to go into the dreams of Queen Helen.
Interesting. You tried to reach out, and how would you describe you cast the dream spell?
I think it's kind of the same way that I set up for when I cast divination. So I just kind of say crisscross applesauce and lay some things out. I think the material components is like a bag of sand. So I make like a ring of sand around me. And I've never met her, but technically it doesn't have to be someone familiar to you, just someone you know of.
I mean, I think so too.
Yeah, it's a creature known to you. So,
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I think you could probably split hairs on what exactly that means. Like, what does known mean? But keep going.
well, there's also spells that say a creature familiar to you, and they wouldn't differentiate if it wasn't two different things.
English is just stupid. Continue.
And I just like try and meditate and almost like, you know, that feeling where you're right about to fall asleep. I want to like try and find that place and just like stay in it without actually going completely unconscious.
So, what is that called? Fuck. No, I'm in.
Twilight sleep?
Huh?
Twilight sleep?
Yeah, no, I sorry. Yes, in real life, yes. In fantasy world or sci-fi world specifically, I'm thinking of Teal'c in what is it called? SG1, of course. There's
Stargate, yeah.
There's the thing that he does is like the Takshol Ra or something like that, where he kind of goes into that meditative state. Anyway, huge fan of that show. Anyway, so you go into that, you start some deep breathing, and as you reach out, you kind of start to feel out, and you feel the magic starting to almost start to envelop the entire world as it pushes outward. As it does, you feel your illusory hand touch what feels like cold marble, but you can't seem to be able to penetrate. And try as you might to re-navigate and circumvent this, it feels like a solid wall that blocks your attempt to push deeper, push past. You're 100% certain that you cannot reach her past that, though you're fairly certain that the spell would have led you there.
All right, I'll just kind of shrug it off, kind of loosey-goosey,
Mm-hmm.
kind of annoyed. Stupid god stuff always stopping me from doing stuff. And I will cast it again.
Who's the target this time?
This time I want to try and go into Gaius's dreams.
Okay. Let me see something. Because I don't think it's gonna work, but I just want to double check. And is this an offensive use or a nice use?
I don't think I want to be like super hostile right now. So it would, if it works, it would just be to talk to him. So
The spell fails immediately. That just tells you that Gaius's thoughts, dreams, hopes have all been dashed by you guys when you killed him. He certainly is not upon this plane of existence.
yep, that's 100% what it means. All right. Well, I don't want to try the other one I was thinking about because I'm sure that one won't work either.
I might as well get confirmation, you know?
Okay. I throw some more sand on the ground. I'll cast it again. Now I got 3 spell slots. And I will try and go into Lutheria's dreams. And if it doesn't just outright fail, if it's just the fact that she's not asleep, it lets me know if it's just because they're awake, not necessarily if it just doesn't work.
Outright fails. You get the sense that Lutheria is just definitely not on this plane of existence.
All right. I go to bed, but I'm mad about it.
But you're mad about it? Okay. So you go ahead and make me a wisdom saving throw. I'm just kidding.
I will.
No. All right. Anything,
And I'll fail it.
anything else that you guys would like to accomplish during your 3 days of voyage on the Ultras? Okay, cool. With that, first of all, make sure that you guys take at least 2 long rests if you used any kind of hit dice and stuff like that as you guys travel on. No time
I
wasted.
know who
on that
this
one, huh?
new person is that's
Yeah.
on our ship,
I was like,
but
who
we
the fuck is
should
this
probably
princess?
deal with that.
This is the mole. It's cow.
It's cool.
How dare you? Big lump with knobs. Has the juice.
It does have the juice.
Hey, David, while I'm thinking about it, could you move that Dispel Evil and Good scroll to Estrella, please?
Sure thing.
For Gets.
Oh, I don't need a scroll.
Right, but you can cast it from the scroll.
It's
And
essentially a free spell slot, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Johnny
Oh.
bought it because he thought it was a wizard
I
spell.
bought
but
it
it's
not paying
just a
attention,
cleric
thinking
spell.
it was a wizard spell, but it's not. So since we've got it, it gives
It
you
just
a free
gives you a
casting
free
of it.
cast.
I think did I not?
You can't cast it from a scroll either, like that.
What's that?
He can.
Can you
attempt
cast
to.
it from a
Yeah.
scroll? Oh,
He just can't scribe.
I mean,
But since it's on your spell list, you can just cast it without worrying about
Yeah,
it not working.
You can cast it automatically. There's a chance I'd fail.
okay.
And
Or you
spell
can give it to
scroll stuck
Brissa.
because if
Brissa
it
can
doesn't
also
work,
cast
it's
it.
still just.
Brissa can also cast it.
Oh, that's true.
Brissa casts spells instead of spearing people.
Yeah, Brissa knows the spell Smite, and Smite, you know.
I think the only other spells that Brissa has ever cast were Shield of Faith and Haste.
Yeah. And Find Steed. I've done Find Steed.
Oh, that's true. Fine Steed, which we
There's no time
immediately
for something
used
like
as a meat shield, I think.
We did.
Are Titans and gods celestials both?
It can be potentially.
Gotcha. I I always click the wrong one. Dang it. There's one that will actually roll for me and one that doesn't. Okay.
That'll be useful.
Gonna go ahead and keep that.
On the evening of the third day, in fact, as the sun is starting to set fairly low, you arrive at the island of the dragon. And what you see, though, is a tropical paradise. An island surrounded by calm, clear waters with pink, sandy beaches that make for easy landfalls. A mountain stands above the dense jungle at the island's center, and many idyllic waterfalls cascade down from this impressive central rock formation. You see the sailors kind of go to the edge, some of them whispering, seemingly excited, some of them anxiously looking towards the sky, expecting the dragon to immediately swoop down upon you. Nothing seems to assail you. You see hundreds of songbirds and other, jungle critters off in the distance. It's beautiful.
I expect you can drop us off on the beach, Ophelia.
Of course. Any directions? Are we to look for signs in the sky? Loud booms? You suddenly appearing with a tiefling as he kind of Chandra's kind of waves his fingers at them.
Yanni, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll be teleporting off this island, so...
That's the plan, yeah. Head back to Mitros. We'll meet
You
you
can
there.
actually, yeah, you can just go back.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure none of the soldiers actually want to fight a dragon, so...
The sailors are all no, but you can see, without needing to make an insight check, you can tell that Ophelia is kind of bummed out she doesn't get to actually experience the island. How about...
I mean, you could stay for a day if you want.
Ophelia can stay by herself if she... I have confidence in these other men to get the ship back to Mitros safely.
Well, I will have to stay on it so the ship moves.
Right, right, magic ship.
I forgot.
But...
Well, we've got a few days before we actually have to go back, so if you want to just adventure and vacation for like a day...
Yes, I would appreciate that. I think the sailors and I would have some fun just relaxing. This is beautiful. We just stay away from the center of the island because that rock right there, it certainly seems like the area of a dragon. And we'll be, and she points towards the southern end, way the fuck over there, having some coconut juice and, enjoy.
Go check out this part that looks like Italy. Go to Italy.
What the fuck is in Italy?
The boot.
The boot. You see that little part on the island that looks like a boot?
Well, it looks more like a sandal, first of all. I don't know what the fuck.
Actually, it kind of looks like a witch shoe, to be completely fair. That's kind of what it looks like.
Well, you guys go ahead. We'll be at the South Island until midday tomorrow, and then we'll start heading back towards Mitros. Sounds good. Chandras comes over towards you, Estrella, and says, "Now, I just want to make sure you're doing this smartly. You guys are going to hunt a dragon, yes. Do you have any ways to make sure that you are resistant to the, breath that it might spew upon you? Do you have means to do this?"
I have prepared some things, but we don't really do planning. That's not really how we roll, so
But
haven't talked to them about
you? That's the only way to do things like hunt a dragon.
I have prepared something.
I trust you fully. This was not to question you. This was just to make sure I'm fond of you. I'm pretty sure the rest of them would kill me if you weren't around. So,
Well, maybe you should try to make friends with them,
Oh, Brotus is just a big, smelly bully. Brisa is now a big, smelly bully. Yanni's a little...
She's a princess
smart.
now, so I don't think you can call her a smelly bully anymore. I think you at least have to call her a princess bully.
This has not been made official yet, so I'm going to call her a big smelly bully all I want to until that day.
Well, I guess that I should not die then.
That would be appreciated. Also,
Cool.
thank you for letting me listen in on the summit. It was good to hear that I wasn't even mentioned. I definitely thought I would be at the top of the, things to be discussed, and instead it was, hey, I'm going to kill your wife and sister. Probably not the most diplomatic way to go about this. Who asked me? Nobody. Nobody asked me. Why wouldn't you?
True.
Andros, you helped us. We could probably not have done it without you. We definitely could not have done it without you.
Thank you. See, this is all I wanted. Just a little, everything that happened was thanks to you, Chandras. Just a little appreciation. That's all I need. Thank you.
Well, Gaius isn't even actually still dead, so.
There are all of
Not
these
exactly.
weird pigeons on this island. This is weird. In a tropical jungle, you think that they had been eaten by now. Anyway, you take care of yourself. If you need anything, you can shoot me a message, long distance or something. Just
You could come with us if you would like to.
no, I would not like that in the least. Just make sure
All
you
right.
survive, okay?
If anything happens to the Ultros, send me a message.
Of course, I will. I will spend more time here. I did offer for Yanni to study with me, but he seemed very happy with the materials he had from the academy. But I took the message, he did not approach. I don't want to be too direct, whatever. It's just been a long time since I had a mentee. I don't know, what I can do upon the ship. I want to be helpful, whatever. Anyway.
Well, did he know that you wanted to teach him? I mean,
had
how did you
offered
approach?
it, and he said, yeah. I don't know. I would have stopped listening. He said,
There's
no.
still a lot going on. I'll talk to him.
Hey,
Yanni likes knowledge, so I think
I think
maybe
Yanni
he'd be
likes
open to
power, and knowledge is
he
vehicle to get there.
the whole connection with Luteria thing will take him a while,
Okay, that's fair, I suppose.
All right. Stay safe. Keep them all safe,
Yeah, I will keep myself safe, and they happen to be within the radius of me being safe, then yes, they will benefit from this as well.
Andros, this is why you have a problem making friends,
Well, listen, I'm just honest, okay? Do you want me to lie and say, yes, I will do
No.
whatever I can. I will put myself in front of someone else so that
No, but maybe you just could say, that's not a lie.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Now go
To start.
get your dragon boots or whatever it is you need from this island. Just
All right,
stay safe.
see you later.
Bye. Princess Estrella. Should be you, really. That's what I'm saying. As you guys are lowered down, you make your way towards the beautiful sandy beaches, and the sun starts to set beautifully, kind of cascading you guys on that eastern shoreline in darkness already. You hear the many calls of creatures deeper within the jungle here. Light of Thylea, you have made it to the Island of the Dragon. What do you do? You look around, and it's certainly an unexplored island. It seems to be wild. It seems to be teeming with life. I'll tell you what, if you want to do a couple different jobs trying to, get your bearing in the very least, what do you think your characters would be looking out specifically, and then I'll try to help you out, hey, this is maybe something your character would think of as well.
I think Rhodas would ask Brissa what to look out for.
Yeah, I mean, I did look up for any knocked over trees or anything like that. I mean, it's a dragon, right? So it's gonna, if it's takes off and lands anywhere, right? Might kind of lead in that direction, or any areas where it's going. So, I mean, we're gonna go towards the mountain, obviously, because that obviously seems like it's gonna be its home.
If you were a
Keep an eye out
dragon,
for a big scaly thing with wings and big sharp teeth like this.
if you were a dragon, where on this island?
Yep, only bigger.
I'd probably live in that giant
You'll get
rock
there.
that's at the center. So,
Well, let's make our way toward there. Keep an eye out for any signs.
Feel like, try to be quiet, or
Oh yes, yes, yeah. I definitely say we try and sneak up on it. Right, it would be good if we could like get it without sleeping or something. Like that'd be really good.
Seems unlikely.
Probably seems unlikely. But yes, we should 100% try and be sneaky. And then green dragons. Right? It is a green one, right? That you said.
As far as I recall.
Then like we should definitely watch out for poison, if I remember correctly. From they do poison.
Do they do
Sorry.
fire and poison?
Beautiful meta description.
Or-
No, I don't. I'm pretty sure from the books I've read, they do. It is poison. I don't think they can do fire.
Pulls out the manual of monsters and flips to page 198.
Do you think poison is like same as acid? Acid, poison, poison, acid? No? Well, I hope that is wrong because the spell I prepared, wrong spell.
Yeah. You know what I didn't realize until just now is that I have a really cool spell that would protect me from both poison and fire, but I can't do it right now.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like a really cool spell.
Yep, didn't even think about it. Wasn't even concerned with it for this part of the whole thing. But now I know.
You know what's crazy? I could have done it on like all of us as well. Oops.
Any dragon questions, you guys should really come to me like ahead of data. Like,
Thanks for telling us.
Yeah, good time for it.
Watch out.
Well, I'm sure it will be fine.
I will try to not get poisoned.
Alrighty. With that, certainly you guys.
How many hours of daylight? Sorry, David.
Not very much. Like maybe 1-2 hours tops, really.
Should we make camp then first, and then get off in the morning?
Oh, if we're gonna do that, we need to stay on the ship for Rhodus' sake.
Oh, that's true.
Goodbye, Princess Brisa. As the ship quickly.
No, they're staying for a day, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
back on the ship.
Yeah. I mean, we don't want to get exhausted, right?
It only makes sense.
All right.
Ophelia was going to think we're very foolish.
Yeah. That is fair.
You get back upon the ship. As Ophelia has her arms already crossed, she just goes, well. Sila's come to have a little bit of fun at the beach, huh? And as you guys follow the ship further to the southern tip of the Sandal, you again see the sailors, actually setting down and are starting to make little bonfires upon the beach itself as they're starting to, revel away, having drinks, celebrating, singing sea shanties to one another, and it's kind of a beautiful evening. Now, I know that we've been doing a lot of role-playing, you guys are itching to a fight, so I don't want to prolong this by any means. But if you guys want to, you guys can partake in those revelries, you guys can have fun. What would you guys like to do?
I mean, Yanni tends to not get too involved in that kind of stuff. He's never felt comfortable with it, but he'll sit and watch.
I think Rhodus wouldn't be in a celebratory mood at this juncture of his journey with this dragon.
It looked like a kind of like almost like a raisin, right? Just like dehydrated grape. It's like slowly as you rest it, massage the damage out of your muscles. You're barely just feeling like a normal human again. Alright, cool. As you guys do whatever, drink, do not drink, play with your dragon, stray. That evening, as everyone else drinks and parties, and you think of the foolish choice of trying to pick an acid-resistant spell. Everyone else seems to be too distracted to notice, but for you, as in the darkness above, you do see some stars twinkle out of its existence and back. a shadow that moves against the blackness of the space above. A blackness that you are fairly certain must belong to. You let others know. People stop their festivities, the singing stops. Everyone intensely looks above. You hear no beating of wings or roar of dragon. 10 minutes of this tenseness pass, and the attack has not occurred, so you assume you're safe. And the second that everybody's asleep, attack time, no. The rest of the evening passes.
Well, that doesn't matter anymore because I got this cool new staff.
The rest of the evening passes by, and you have sentries posted. You do everything perfectly, just like how they describe it. You're unassailed. Everyone, go ahead and take another long rest. Which Lyra, of course, sorry, that means new D20 for you.
Yeah, I thought we were starting at the beginning of the day, but it's cool.
I mean, it could have had implications if you guys pushed into the island. To be fair.
Probably gonna be like an 11.
But now you guys can do spells for poison.
Well, I still can't cast that spell, so.
Oh, yeah, sad day. Marissa can, though.
Yes, are you super sure it's poison? Because I'm loading up on the poison.
Could Brissa make a check? Brissa, like, is
Yeah,
like...
make me a history or survival check with advantage.
Alright. History or survival? Alright, well, definitely history.
Yeah, and also, like, any, thing I should know about spells that are good to cast against dragons would also be great.
Brissa,
Do you
I
have
mean, yeah, you
insta-kill
fairly-
dragon spell?
If it's a green dragon, it's probably poison. If it's an emerald dragon, it might be something different. Yeah, what about a green kind of like appearing copper dragon? Oh man, there's some options here. What if Rotus just didn't really see the right color when he was a boy?
That is
I mean,
true.
it could be a lot
What
of
if it's
different
Rotus
things.
is colorblind?
That is true. It could
Uh-oh.
be a blue dragon. Like, who
Uh-oh.
knows? Yeah.
Oh no.
The big reveal. It's
I
red
would-
for everyone else.
I would say go.
We're just
go
like,
with,
that's not the right dragon. That's a red dragon.
go with the poison, right? He said it was green initially. We'll trust Rotus's gut.
You know how there's like all of these Reddit posts about like, oh, by the way, when you do an opportunity attack with Watercaster against your ally and you slap him with a Cure Wounds, right? There's the version of that for DMs too, and one of the ones that they have talked about before was, what if you have a red dragon but they're albino, so all of their scales are white and whatnot, and so this entire time the group prepares for the white dragon, they get cold resistance, do all of this shit, and they get there and suddenly this thing just like unleashes fire. They're like, what the fuck? And it all was just a ploy. So this is totally not inspired by that. Don't worry about it.
Let's hope not.
Marissa's face. She's gonna murder me through the screen. She gonna kill me.
Just stock the poison, and if it works, great.
I
If
did
it doesn't, we'll
I
figure
brought
something
both
else out.
fire and poison.
All
Mhm,
right.
I think so. Oh no, I have to take one away.
Keep
Listen,
the poison.
do we want me to locate the creature, or do you think we'll find it without locating it? Needing to locate it.
Oh, right. I forgot you had that spell.
I think
I
it'll
have
find
so
us.
many spells.
I mean,
It'll find us.
I think that mountain, right? We'll be able to go to that mountain, and especially if we just start touching, like we found the dragon sword, we just start touching its treasure, it will come really fast, right?
So if I cast this spell, I'll know if it's within 1,000 feet. So if we're stealthy,
Well, that is
we'll-
good.
I'll be able to know where it is.
Yeah, I say we do that. I think that's a good plan. We can
The
like
island
stealth and
is miles. And
Oh,
just so you know,
okay.
That is thousands. And
Yeah,
thousands
yeah,
and thousands
yeah.
of miles.
You'll
But
just
It
you'll
lasts
cast
for an
it
hour.
when we get
Yeah.
once we get to the mountain, basically,
close, like halfway into the island.
Somewhere around that number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
somewhere around the number
You see
one.
that big giant floating one in the sky? Once we start getting close to that. We love you, David.
All right, off we go. We got the sun.
Prepared.
We got some
Yeah,
sunlight to kill.
I can't change my spells, so
Yeah, that day.
You guys push on. Who would like to make the survival lead check, and who would like to try to assist?
You don't want me
I
anywhere
don't
near any
think
of that.
I'm proficient in it at all. Nope.
I think Estrella should be the lead.
Oh man,
I
that's
agree.
terrible. Guys,
Not very wise.
I literally
There's
haven't
just a
rolled
swarm
above
of
a
meta
4
pigeons. I'm gonna make a
this entire
fucking
campaign.
swarm creature, a monster that is going to be a swarm of meta pigeons. A sort of fucking.
Mm-mm. No, either Lyra or Brissa or Rhodas or Yanni. Literally anyone but Estrella.
Fine, I'll do it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Is
Is there
someone
nobody
gonna
proficient
assist
in
me?
survival?
Brissa
don't
will try
think
to
so.
assist.
Okay, who's
Yeah,
trying
sure,
to
why
assist you?
not?
Brissa, go ahead and roll your survival check. DC 10 to see if you can aid in this. Alrighty. As Princess Brissa just keeps going off about, well, if this is indeed a green dragon, they have certain things, and they kind of live here, and they would need large enough creatures that they can consume, they need to live on things, and blah, 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 blah. And who's doing the primary, Lyra?
Yeah.
Can you fly today?
Nope.
Okay.
I could yesterday.
See, the sighting of the dragon just made you so sad. In any case, go ahead and roll me your survival with advantage, please. Nice. And with that, Lyra, you listen to those words and you try to look for tracks of large, creatures that could maybe function as prey for a dragon. You try to look for large imprints, and indeed you do see large imprints that seem to be almost, with a 15, you're able to tell that the way that the feet are shaped, it's almost like 3-pronged sometimes, or 5-pronged, but they're not like, most of the hoofed creatures that you expect. And as you go through here, you get the sense that most of these are almost lizard-like. Maybe they're huge claw-having creatures that kind of move through here, and as you keep moving deeper and deeper into the jungle, and you have different calls. You do see monkeys kind of swinging from some of the vines up above, great apes kind of pushing away from you guys, as there's a massive ape, so that Estrella finally has that in her repertoire too. But as you guys are moving through, you can tell that
Can't do that anymore.
Can't.
there are huge creatures that certainly share the space of the jungle with you guys. See, this is the thing that I was like, as a DM, I was like, just wait, and you'll definitely come across an island where these things exist. God fucking damn it! But I'm sure Yanni has it, because there's no way David wouldn't make a public spell eventually.
I don't have it yet.
But you guys kind of push through, and as you guys get deeper and deeper, like from time to time, you're like, fuck, god damn, and there's just bugs swarming about you. There's deep ravines that you guys kind of have to like sometimes go through. Like from the outside, it's a beautiful place. The second that you guys push into these massive canopies that seem to almost block out the sun, you can tell that the ferns are super massive, almost covering you guys in its entirety. You guys are sweating so hard. You get the sense that you will need a lot of water so that you don't get, heat stroke even underneath the canopies themselves. They kind of just seem to trap the moisture, the heat, and all of that. I need all of you guys to make me a Constitution saving throw. Damn, bro, this was fucking ready for that.
Constituted.
Yep.
Alrighty. Noted. And then, who would like to roll me a d10?
Not it. I already rolled.
I'll do it. D10? 2.
Before we set off, I would have liked to give a 10-minute speech as well.
Nope. At this point, you guys have played for a long time. You gotta remember shit. Alright, you guys are pushing on. With 2. You guys are walking through this area. And suddenly you hear a weird... what sounds like... The best way to describe it, a lot of the sailors last night had used, coconuts and broke them open and drank directly from it, and some of them kind of started to like clap them together. The bard definitely enjoyed that, kind of like making a new kind of an instrument out of that. It sounded a lot like a horde of centaurs approaching. But as you guys kind of hear that, it almost sounds like, in the weirdest way, it sounds like rocks being rattled back and forth in a coconut. Around, it seems to be coming from just, you can't hard to place. Can't quite put your finger on where it's coming from. And you hear another click and click, 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 click. And then it stops. Click, 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 click. Another stops. And then you realize that it seems to be coming from all directions at once.
We all grouped up together right now.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, it's a good idea.
Yeah, you'd be kind of like, normally it would have been like Lyra and Brissa kind of in the front, and then maybe Yanni, Estrella kind of there, and then Rose maybe taking up the back. It's kind of like trying to keep it as safe as possible. But as you guys kind of start to go back to back, you look around, and the clicking kind of stops. As they look towards the edges of the forest, and then suddenly you notice that. Let's see. I gotta roll for something. Estrella. Suddenly, upon your shoulder, you see what is impossible. A tiny, not even small, tiny, little, vaguely humanoid shaped appearing creature seems to sit upon your shoulder. It seems to be wearing what appears to be a little bronze mask that has the very, very crude approximation of a humanoid face with eyes that seem to be just kind of circles that run in counterclock fashion from one another, and what seems to be just like a triangle for a mouth. You see what seem to be black tendrils kind of reaching out from behind it, almost like roots, but they seem to be made of black material. It's almost like skin, but you can't quite put your finger on it. And these long black hands that seem to be just gently stroking through your hair. And as it moves its head, it goes, and you can hear the same kind of noise that seems to be the rocks inside of the coconut. All of you guys, go ahead and make me a history check. Yanni. You guys look towards him, and you see a big smile start to spread across his face. Yanni, you remember reading about these things. These are nature spirits. These are called Chewinga. These Chewinga are able to give supernatural charms, and they love all things society, and you're pretty sure they sometimes just become obsessed and just like fascinated with things that are not of nature. As you see this little guy sitting upon Estrella's shoulder, you also know that they get really easily spooked. What do you say?
Everybody be calm. They're friendly. They're nature spirits. And they might be able to bring us some good luck. Let it play with your hair.
Seems to kind of like pull it up and pull it apart and then cross it back over, and then starts to like try to make a braid, but it's like any guy who's ever tried to make a braid for the first time ever, it's just fucking terrible. It's just like trying to go. And it's just like starting to get like turned into a nest there. As with that, it seems to kind of like reach its hand out, and suddenly you see some of the ferns seem to kind of like lose all of its leaves, and it just flies to its hand as it starts to kind of weave them in there, kind of like turning them in circles and circles and circles, and suddenly there's like this weird little bowl of your hair on your side. It reaches out again, and from the ground and from the trees you see little twigs and branches kind of fly towards its hand. It very much seems to be making a nest out of your hair on your shoulder.
What? Why do you guys look like that? What's the look on your faces? What's happening? That's okay. Hello.
You're gonna love it.
I am?
Looks good.
Yeah,
Really?
we can
What?
hold stuff in it.
With that, you see the Chewinga kind of tentatively, forlornly kind of seem to, the mask seems to be kind of facing towards you, Estrella. With a very exaggerated gesture, it kind of kicks its leg, long, lanky, and thin, over the edge of the nest. It seems to be kind of watching for your reaction. What do you do?
It's like sitting in the nest.
It's like
With its leg kicked over, like,
making
made a
motion to,
house?
like, sit in there.
Okay. Yanni? This is a friend we should bring with us, yeah?
At least, be nice to it for a little while. See if it gives us some kind of boon.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I'll like grab some foliage around and like hand it over to it so it can use it for its nest if it wants to.
Nice. Gonna give me a nature check to see what, like, ideal little things are laying around, like trying to imagine what would be good nest-making things. And indeed, you kind of like pick up some branches. It kind of like swats the ones that are too big away, and you're like, okay. And as you kind of like reach out for like a flower, it seems to be really excited about that. As you pick up a couple more of these beautiful, massive jungle flowers, and kind of just weaves that into this. You know, it's like if you have a child, and the child is 4 years old, and it makes a drawing for you, and you're impressed by how good it did because it's a 4-year-old, but at the same time, you're like, wow, this is ugly. Kind of like that.
Need a different metaphor, David. I can't relate to that at all. So
For all of you that don't have children. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. But as you have this weird little flower, twig, leaf nest there, indeed the chewinga seems to kind of like put in, and it seems to just kind of curl in on itself like this little black cat inside of this little thing. And I cannot stress how little this little chewinga is, and it just kind of settles down.
Hi, buddy. Do you speak ever?
It seems to kind of shift around and put its like arms around its head. With your passive insight, you're pretty sure it's just trying to block out the sound that you make.
Oh. All right. Well, guess we keep going then.
You guys walk on, and at around midday, it's starting to get unbearable. Absolutely fucking drenched. You guys have easily gone through your water skins that you filled up on the ship. You are starting to feel extremely thirsty. Do you want to use magic or something like that to like produce water or whatever so that you guys have something, or how do you guys want to go about that in an efficient way? Otherwise, you're starting to look at it distant from this.
that's a great question.
We have the horn, am I correct? I assume that,
Yeah.
that would.
Yep, we do.
Good idea.
Does it take very long? Oh no, it's just an action. There you go.
All right.
I'll
You're
just-
attuned to it? Perfect.
With
I'll just pull the horn out of the bag and be like, food!
Wha-bam!
Alrighty, as you guys do puff puff pass with the horn, reaching it around, starting to take some drinks, and with that, you know what? So wait, Lyra, you have the horn, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, roll me D100.
Why?
Just cause. Okay, with a 97.
Been nice earlier.
You guys drink away, and it feels incredibly cool and refreshing. It's like perfectly chilled rosé on an extremely hot, drenched day. And as you guys pass that around, you start to get the same sensation that you did the first time that you hit the horns. You're like, oh shit. And with that, Lyra, you kind of like, fuck is gonna happen
Oh.
again?
I forgot to turn that off.
As with that,
Wait, what is going to happen again?
Estrella,
What?
you have no fucking idea. You drink this thing, and suddenly your vision starts to blur. It's not an unpleasant feeling, but for the fact that it seems to start to put you to sleep. As you drank from the horn, suddenly all of you guys are starting to get woozy, drowsy. And one by one, starting with Yanni, mostly just body size, Lara, Estrella, Otis, and Brissa, you all start to pass out.
Oopsie doopsie.
Nice.
I mean, would we have drink at the wine, right? Because it says it produces water and wine. We
And
could-
technically it says you can decide whether or not the wine makes you hallucinate, but I
You're
think
right.
it's a great
The
idea.
thing is up to you. I'm gonna call that as my call. With the 97,
Got 'em.
I'm going to give you guys a gift in conjunction with this temporary loss of power, which I know nobody enjoys. Again. As you guys fall asleep, you seem to wake in what appears to be a bobbing. You watch around, see waterfalls of souls pour into this ocean. And there, you look about and you see a massive figure. Giant, tight, sewn shut eyes, a sewn shut mouth, and huge chains with hooks piercing through their shoulders, pulling, magnificent, pleasurable, preposterously massive in size. You see all of these plants and vines hanging off it, hanging gardens. It seems to almost drag a miasma of visible floral composition behind it. And as you realize that you are bobbing in the water here, you seem to look up towards the ship, and a long pole is reached down. You grasp it and look at your arm, and you see it is green and blue and translucent, scarred from battle. As you grasp the staff, you're pulled up towards the barge. As you see Manians, Goatlings, Tiefling, creatures of the Fey folk, all naked, beautiful, rollicking, making merry, copulating upon the deck of this ship. You look down upon yourself, notice that you are in your translucent self, also naked, suddenly made of flesh. You look upon the bronze skin, six-pack abs, the confirmation that you're a male. You look back up, and there you see a beautiful blonde woman you recognize. The eye tighten upon, long flowing black robes behind. I have plans for you, Command. You guys wake. Towards evening time. And as you wake up, you notice that you seem to not be deep in the jungle anymore. The sounds of the jungle are still about you, but it has changed. It's muted now. It seems to be distant. As you kind of blink, you see rays of sunshine coming through what seem to be bound to get in their thin tree stumps and bamboo. You see thatch roof about you kind of shining down. You seem to be upon the hard ground that has been tamped down. And as you look about you there, you seem to be inside of a hut of some kind. None of you are bound. None of you have any of your gear, however, upon you either. And as you look about, you notice that you're actually in a village. There is a couple openings, essentially these little foldable holes in the hut that you are able to look through. On the northern side of the village, you can see a cascading waterfall that has kind of like a central stone that pierces through it. You can hear the chatter of people all about. Here's a question. I gotta double check. I need to make a spreadsheet for this kind of check something really quick. You hear conversation happening outside of this place. Conversation that seems to be beautiful and lilting almost in its presentation. But try as you might, none of you speak that language.
What? But I know so many. I think I know 4.
As you look at each other, you do notice that all of the gear, all of the weapons, all of the robes, all of the armor, all of the swords that you once had was taken from you. You seem to be in rough-hewn jungle garb.
Anybody know what they're saying?
Sounds like gibberish.
I throw up a little. Not because of the trip, but because now I know what Gaius looks like naked.
Should we go? I mean, we're not like bound, so maybe they just took it off because I have no idea why they changed us, because that is just a little weird. I'll be honest.
It's kind of intrusive, right?
Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely odd. So yeah, I say we go up and just go out there, and if anything starts to be a little suspicious,
The
we
door opens as you're having
Run.
that conversation, and you see an elven man step in.
Excuse me?
He looks severe, and you can see that there's scars all across him. You can see that his entire body seems to be covered either in finely rewoven and somehow still partially alive foliage of the trees. Other parts seem to be made out of leathers that once belonged to large lizard creatures, it appears, and other parts are made out of chitinous material. His gray eyes seem to go from one to the other as they consider you. You. Where are you from?
Most recently, Nitros.
Do you have our stuff? We're kind of in the middle of something.
What are you in the middle of?
Well, currently a hut in a village that we don't know where we're at.
dragon hunting.
We're
Hunting. You're hunting the dragon. By the
we're
way,
searching for our friend's mom, who we think may have been taken by the dragon.
as Brissa and Lyra have been saying this, both of them seem to be sweating profusely more so than the rest of you guys. Like, some of you have some beading of sweat upon you because it's pretty hot even inside of this hut. But Lyra and Brissa, you guys are, as you try to stand, you're like, oh, you feel kind of sick, and you feel a little, like, it's that hot flash thing where you kind of almost feel like shivery at the same time. You feel, like, you actually feel, if anything, kind of cold to yourself, that you're burning up. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
What is wrong with my friends? Do you know?
They have jungle fever.
Yeah, we do.
Seems kind of look at you.
Doesn't sound so bad.
Fucking, yeah. It's not my fault that all the fantasy art out there has to be hot people, okay?
You know,
At
that
least
was a
it's not
movie back
super
in the
tetanus.
90s, right?
I'm getting District
Ebola?
9 alien vibes
Bad.
from this guy.
Jungle
Yeah,
fever?
I thought he had a lobster claw at first. I had to zoom in for a second.
Do you have a cure?
We know how to treat it, yes.
Perfect. You have questions? We will answer them if you cure my friends.
Deal. You said that you're hunting the dragon. That's true.
Well, you must cure them first, you understand.
No, that is not how this is going to work.
Yes, we're hunting the dragons.
What the one? Singular.
Oh yeah, we have one dragon. Yes, yeah.
Exia. She's the queen of this island. Are you not just lying to me so that I give you a cure, honey? Or do I not know that you're not just agents of hers from off this island, come here to terrorize us?
How do we not know you are agents of hers trying to get information from us?
We don't-
Okay, look, this whole answering
Alright.
questions with questions, it's not helping anybody. Look, the big guy there, Hexia took, maybe killed, we don't know, we hope not, his mom when he was like 10 years old.
If the dragon took her, she is dead.
Well, then we're definitely hunting the
Anyway.
dragon.
So we're trying to get him closure on that whole thing, one way or the other, and that probably involves a little bit of revenge, choppity, head goes that way, body goes that way kind of thing with the dragon.
It's a lot of effort for therapy.
You know, our HMO sucks.
It's honestly not the most we've done for therapy already, to be fair.
That is true. That is true.
Anyways. We're not agents of her. We're her morsels. She allows us to exist so that we can sacrifice to her. We should.
Okay.
She eats you. She eats you.
Or what we bring to her. If she's not satisfied, then no. Yes.
Rough.
Okay, so help us out here and we'll put an end to her. And then the island will be yours.
We need to do this.
I mean, we were gonna anyway. We had no idea you guys were here, so if it benefits you, even better.
That's true.
Yeah,
It's
when
our only
we
reason for being here.
passed out earlier, we were actually looking for her. So if you know where she's at, actually, that would be super helpful.
We do.
And if you knew, like, like when her sleeping schedule is, right, that would be even more helpful.
Do you know what her daily activities are?
No,
Does she have like a
deliver.
planner?
Wait, what if you deliver us to her as if we were sacrifices, you know? Then we could be inside her lair. She would not expect us to be alive, and we could surprise attack her.
Well, that would be really good.
Yeah,
You might
that's true.
notice the armor and the swords and spears and the whatnot.
Yeah, we do need our stuff first, and also probably something to get rid of the jungle fever.
Do you have statues with you?
Hmm.
Statues?
Statue.
But we don't.
I don't know what is a statue? An insinuation of something?
If we do and I don't remember, I'll roll deception against it.
First of all, everybody should get a DM inspiration because of the fates. So go ahead and mark a DM inspiration for yourselves, please.
Okay.
Secondly, if you as players don't remember, your characters can make me an investigation check to try to figure out what he's talking about.
I don't remember.
Yep.
The reason that you found out about Hexia in the first place and where she's located was because you made a deal with Senna. Senna, Medusa, was the head of the Cult of the Snake, the most powerful thieves guild in Mitros once upon a time. One of the things that made her be willing to be on your side was not just the fact that she wanted to take over Themis, but she also wanted to be out from underneath the heel of Hexia, whom she had a standing agreement with. In fact, over many years, she had petrified many nobles and artists and other people in Mitros, and then shipped those statues to the island Dragon as tribute.
Yeah, I forgot that was the whole reason she was petrifying people.
It seems that
You-
your lack of understanding satisfies this man. He goes, so you really are not agents of this Cult of the Snake.
No. We kinda were a thorn in their side too.
But we tried to kill them on sight. We didn't
Smart.
find any statues on you, so we wanted to chat with you first. The chief will have to speak with you.
Statues, you mean petrified people?
They would be so big. How would you?
That is what they are. Those are people. Estrella, your passive insight triggers. You realize that they didn't just kill the people who brought the statues for Hexia. You're pretty sure that they also destroyed the statues. As that realization kind of goes over him, he seems to kind of get sick. which gives you, again, that finer detailed knowledge of, like, this man clearly has morals, clearly has a conscience. The fact that he feels sickened by the thought that he destroyed these statues when they were... Oh. Alright, stay here. Chief will speak with you so shortly.
Wait, the cure for my friends.
I will bring it. My name is Darok. What is yours? Darok. What is your name?
We are the light of Thylea.
I'm Yanni. And that's Brisa. And that's Rodus. And that's Lyra. And that's Estrella.
It took you a second, are you sure? With that, Darok just kind of nods again, closes the ramshackle door, and leaves. You can see a pair of eyes kind of look through one of the open windows on the side, and you see the small elven child with reddish hair tousling and curls down its face. You see little sun-speckled freckles. Just it's not even a galaxy. It's just almost like a solid bar of freckles that cuts across. You can see the deep bronze skin of this child that clearly may have had significantly fairer skin if she had no. She kind of looks with wide eyes upon all of them. You also realize in that moment that she probably never has seen a nymph, Azamor, a halfling. Has never seen a siren. The door opens again after some moments pass, and a woman in, it's not quite regalia, it's phenomenally well-made armor, considering where these people are. This elf woman steps before you. You're off islanders then, yeah? From the mainland?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Way off island.
Mitros?
Yep, exactly.
Learned of this place from some of the court. Castus is still king?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
And gods are real.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
We've met all of them. Well, that we know of.
Well,
Yeah.
Knew of.
Yeah.
So why do they let this happen?
Wait, which part?
The gods. Us, suffering here. Like prey for this dragon. Why do the gods let bad things happen?
Oh, boy. How much time you got?
Yeah, I don't know if we have time for that. To be completely honest with you, we are on a schedule.
Well, actually, you have one of their children here to help you. Not you specifically, we did not know you were here, but Rotus is a god.
we've been sent here to liberate this island.
We've given many sacrifices to this Valos. This better be the way that she heard it. So you're here to kill the dragon.
Yeah.
If all goes according to plan.
Alright. Darok, give him the tincture before they start having seizures. As he steps forward. Gives you these weird looking little balls of mashed together nuts and roots and leaves and maybe a little bit of mud. And just hands it to you.
Bird food.
I'm sorry.
I refuse to eat it. I will keep the jungle fever.
That's actually what they were talking about in their language. Is like, maybe feed her. Like I think it's probably bird food.
It's definitely bird food. It's gotta
I
be bird
die
food,
on
right?
the island.
Peck it out of his hand. Just
Don't even have a beak. It's cool.
It will take some time for this to be effective. It should cure you.
I eat it, but I'm mad about it.
was it like prevent future of it happening? Right? Should all of us eat it, or is it like a one-time thing?
Only you two have signs of it. We have some people who are better at fighting diseases. Even those people succumb to this jungle fever. It's something that Hexia has put into the jungle, to the beasts. All the creatures of this jungle, aside from us, are under her thrall. You can call all of them. See through their eyes with inst. The chieftain kind of waves him to the side as he bows and kind of to the side of it. My name is Patrea. I know yours. No need to say it again. If you are to fight the dragon, we will help you. She's terrorized us for generations. But I need to know that you are capable of doing this. You're just here for fame and fortune in this glistening white city of yours that affected me. You will die. Prepared for this for a long time.
Would you like a list of our bona fides?
Yes.
We've killed the
Let's
dragon
see.
before.
You have?
There's that.
Yep.
One trained for war, on top of it. We killed a chimera. We killed the Lotus Witch. We killed the Ghost of Estor. Or I don't know if killed is the right word, but sent him to the Nether Sea. Let's see. At least 3 of us have been dead once before, and we're all still back. So we got that on our side.
Rhodus is the son of Petor.
Yep.
Peter.
And Estrella's the granddaughter. Yep.
Indeed.
Close enough.
Estrella's a powerful spellcaster. Risa's got her own dragon. I don't know where she ended up.
It's just right there.
Nope, Sila's not in the hut.
Oh. Hey, where is that dragon?
We look between one and First roll made even under.
Oh god, you got 24 hours.
Wait! Okay. Oh no.
Well, we were worried that you had brought a child of Ixios to her. She's alive, but she's drugged, bound. We were going to use her as a bait for the ambush.
Seems reasonable.
Enough.
Alright. We're gonna need her back. She's a good dragon.
Yes.
No dragon is a good dragon. But do we know that you're not just here to try and tame Hexa? She deserves to die for what she has done to us.
You're kind of enabling her. I don't mean to be judgmental, but you are sort of worshipping her and giving her, tributes,
We have no
right? So
choice. She will kill us, maim our children.
Do you want
So
us
what
to
are you
oath it?
afraid? What are you afraid we're going to do to you that's worse than what she's doing to you? We're telling you we're here to put an end to her for our own reasons. If it helps you, bonus.
otherwise, you can just tell her that you brought us to her. You tricked us into thinking that you are our friends. You brought us to her so she could kill us.
No deception. I will die in this last hunt if I must. We're going to make sure she dies. And you're right.
Yeah, if you guys want to come along.
You're right. Estrella, go ahead and make me an insight check. This one is going to be an active one.
Hey.
Not only are you picking up that, a lot of the information that these elves are getting is off-island. You're pretty sure when you said, or when Yanni said, like, we'll oath it, or whoever said that, Brissa, we'll oath it.
Of course it was Brissa.
Brissa, yeah. Nice job. You realize in that moment they don't understand what that means. They've never heard of oaths. They don't probably really know about Dragonlords, the history of Thylea. This is a self-contained community.
Alright, you know what? Perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot. I think you do not know about us and we do not know about you. In your custom, how do you learn about new cultures? How do you learn to trust people?
They kind of look towards each other, and Dara kind of has like a smile on its face. Usually we kill any who are not of the tribe. Darok had convinced me to let you live. There was opportunity with a dragon pup. So you lived. Fine, Darok, you're right. Next time you can have the tentacle. Told you. Knew they were different. Fine then. Tonight we shall feast and plan for the morning. Are we all agreed? You will get your things back, you will get your dragon back, but I want to know more about this world outside of this place.
You know, of the two of us, only one of us have taken all of our items and trapped us in a hut.
I don't know who you were. Before it was
You know
always
what?
the cult of the snake that came to bring.
If the roles were reversed, we'd have done the same. It's all good. No harm, no foul, they say.
I just glance to the bird nest in my hair and disagree with that
Oh wait,
wholeheartedly.
is Chumbawamba still here?
You look over,
Yeah.
and you do indeed see the chewing is curled up sleeping.
She called it a
I
Chumbawamba.
hope he was.
I did call it a Chumbawamba.
Awesome. I love it.
She kind of looks towards that, and Daruk kind of like his eyes go wide a little bit, and he smiles at you, Estrella. I was wondering what that was. You've been blessed. The Chewinga are the only thing that are seemingly unaffected in this jungle by Hexia. They like you. Yes.
Hopefully that counts for something.
Yeah, that should have been your first sign. We're super cool and
This
super
indicates
nice.
to you that the Chewinga was not in the nest when they brought you in. So it just like, as you looked over, it was there. Spirits, man.
Faye, can't trust him.
Not once, not never. With that, as you guys walk outside of the little hut that you guys were in, you do indeed see what looks like a small village stretched before you. It's a gorgeous little vicinity, beautiful little huts that stretch all about you. The waterfall cascades on the northern side, and you can see that all throughout the village there are more of these elves, exclusively elves, that live within. And as you guys step outside of this and look around, we leave it here for this week's session. Welcome to the Island of the Dragon. Welcome to Hopeful, the repayment childhood trauma notice. Well done on the God Sword.
Hell yeah. So cool.
Power of the gods at your fingertips. I can't believe that you almost lost the ability to use it again. Ooh, that was cool.
That was close.
Had that inspiration. Just barely.
All right, awesome. So glad that we made it through a whole session. It was wonderful. It was great. No hiccups. You guys are amazing. For those of you that are watching that have tuned in for the first time, we always stream on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Mountain, which is of course 9 p.m. Eastern. This campaign is wonderful. Odyssey of the Dragonlords, highly suggested if you guys are checking it out because you saw it in the title. Use it for your homies. It's fantastic. There's so much cool, weird shit in it that you as a GM can have. that'll be pretty much it. I will raid another channel, so please stay tuned for a second. Anything that you guys want to mention while I do the clickety on the side? Yes, that's the official term.
Clickety.
Like clickety.
What do you call that again? A chumbo wumbo? What is a chumbo wumbo?
It's a band.
What kind of music do they
Get knocked down, but I get up again.
Oh shit, chumbo wumbos. Alright, cool.
Gosh, David, even I know that.
Listen. I'm not from this country, okay?
That's fair. Actually, that's
Well, I think you were in elementary school when that song came out.
Actually, what country are
Regardless.
they from? Probably not this one.
I think they're British.
Wumbos?
that's also fair.
Yeah, it's definitely not this one.
Damn it, that's my go-to excuse for everything.
I'm
Don't
sorry,
call me
by
out like
this
that,
one, I
person.
mean
Alright,
US.
Cool. We'll be
Yeah,
reading the
they're
posts over
British.
at the Dark Tales. Thank you guys so much. Tune in again next week, again 9 p.m. Eastern, for another round.